Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. I'm Joe.
I am Caleb.
And I don't actually know whose episode it is today.
I don't either.
Okay, well, we're going to be talking about our KupoCon trip.
Yeah. We're here together, too. If you notice, like, if you're like, wow, why does this one sound so good? It's because we're here.
I don't know if it'll sound better.
Well,
because the audio is always cleaner when we're in the Zoom separately.
Yeah.
The timing will probably be better.
The fucking timing.
It'll be a little warmer.
It's impossible to get it right on. I'm like, I just got to get it.
It's not impossible.
It's so fucking hard, dude.
If someone's headphones are really loud, you can wait for a beat where it bleeds through a little bit.
That's what I do. I make sure my headphones are blaring, and then I can like try to line it up as close as I can. But I've got to zoom in. Like, I've got to be able to see like the fucking the biology of the sound wave, and then move it from that perspective to get it to where I got to zoom in so far I can see like the cell wall and all that stuff that I didn't like in biology. I've got to zoom in on it so close that I see that, and then I can like try to get it at the exact same second.
Yeah.
It's infuriating. I hate it, man.
Sorry.
It does sound really good when both of our Zooms are sounding good, though. Like,
yeah.
It sounds really, really good.
It's a really crisp sound. We can pretty much record from anywhere.
Yeah.
Zoom H1, highly recommended for recording
unofficial
your
sponsor.
Podcast. Yeah,
very
exactly.
unofficial.
We do put a little puffball on the end of it, though, so that is a very important part of the Zoom experience.
You don't want to use your Zoom without your protection on.
That's right.
It peaks like a motherfucker, and when it peaks, you don't want it peeking all up in there.
Speaking of peaking,
it. Yeah.
We're almost at the end of our show twice.
Oh, I was like, I peaked a while ago.
We went to KupoCon, and we were kind of planning on it being a final episode thing, but the way that everybody's schedules turned out, it's like only one person hung out with us the next day. A lot of people hung out with us, or we talked to on the day of KupoCon and the night of KupoCon, and we were all kind of too drunk to record, and I didn't really want to push that in there, so we have a tiny bit of our finale episode recorded, but it looks like we'll be recording that actually around the time that we do the finale. So, sorry, spoilers for a future episode. So this episode is just going to be about like what we experienced at KupoCon and probably a trip and all the people we met and yada yada. And you'll hear some of the interviews. I was very drunkenly interviewing a lot of people on the show, or that we met in the hotel, and you did the same. So,
I lost my train of thought like so many times.
Get ready for that. I don't know how that's any different from any other episode, though. Your train of thought.
I was just drunker this time. That's and you might not even be able to tell. I don't know. Maybe I just sound like a drunken idiot every episode.
I don't even want to listen to what my recordings have.
You don't have to.
Because I was sloshed.
When you were talking to Jamo, you were sloshed?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't fucked up until we started talking to Felicia. Yeah, I was like, wow, dude, I have drank too much. And then we got back to the hotel, and I'm like, let's drink some more.
Oh, no. By then, I was like, I want to sober up immediately because I'm starting to feel sick.
If you sober up before you go to sleep, you feel way better.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I got drunk at around 8:30.
Yeah, that's a good time.
And I was pretty sober by 2 a.m.
There was, when I got really, really hammered at this, like, it was Brew Stillery is what it was called. It was just an outdoor thing where you buy tokens and you drink beer and liquor, and I got fucking drunk, dude. And like I when I got home, I was like, oh, I gotta watch Game of Thrones for the show. And then like I was like, no, I'm too drunk to watch it. And then I just watched it, and then we like watched the next one, and I like sobered up by the end of it, and I was like, wow, I actually feel really good. And like if I would have gone to sleep, there's something about going to sleep when you're drunk that like you just feel like shit when you wake up. And I wonder if it's something to do with the way your body regulates like water usage when you're asleep or something, because I drank so much, and I was like fine. I just like sobered, and I went to bed, and I woke up, and I was like, oh yeah.
If you're sober, you're sober.
Yeah, I don't know. It's drink early. I say drink before noon. That's the only way to really get out of the to avoid a hangover.
Wake and drink.
Be a morning drinker, and then you're fine.
Morning drinker, that's right. We all know that the morning drinkers really have their stuff put.
Those are the
together.
successful people. And there was a book at the airport that says like habits of successful people. When I opened it up, it was one page, and it said drank before 11 a.m.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, I will.
I understand. It might be 2 a.m. Might be a lot before 11 a.m.
Yeah,
personally,
that's true. Yeah.
But, before 11 a.m. Every time except 11 a.m. is before 11 a.m.
That is deep and true.
It is so deep and so true. So, Schweiss, before we get into any of the KupoCon stuff, where are you in Final Fantasy Explorers?
Four Heroes of Light, you mean? I haven't started Explorers yet.
Oh.
Four Heroes of Light. So I got to the Sand Beast. You remember that guy, the Sandman? That you fight in that one sand castle. And he's like, the guy's like, get your water spells ready, girl. Like, we're gonna fight this sand creature. And I'm like, I don't have any water spells. And then I go back to the town and I'm like, hey, can I buy some water spells? First person I talked to is like, there are no longer water spells available in this town. I'm like, what do you mean there's no longer water spells available? Like, you're like, oh, do you need water? Yeah, we don't sell water here. We're against single-use plastic water bottles in this town. So I had to go to the town over to buy my single-use plastic water container to throw on the Sandman to kill his ass. And I wrecked him when I did.
That's right.
But I adjusted my shit. I got items that like made me more immune to earth attacks, and so he was doing like nothing to me, but it's like I can only cure one person at a time. The cure is really expensive. It takes 2 points, and like he just slowly mops the floor with me as I do 2 damage at a time. I'm like, I gotta find something to kill him. So I found the water vendor in the wonderful city that I came from, who was willing to sell me the single-use plastic bottles that I used to save the world, by the way. And defeated him. And now I'm like, I was playing it on the plane, and then I also played it in the hotel room, but I play it late at night when I'm super tired. And all I remember is that the girl character is like, I'm going to go out on my own. And I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And I went into the whirlpool, and the door's locked, so I left the whirlpool, and then I'm trying to go through the cave, and the bottom layers of the cave are filled with hell dogs or whatever who destroy me in one hit. So I was like, okay, that's clearly not the way to go. And then I go through the cave to the other side, and any enemy I find on the other side just wipes me. So I'm like, I have no idea where to go. I'm going to have to start using a guide for this game, because
I used a guide.
I talked to everyone in all of the towns, and they don't really say anything. They're like, oh, this town sure is nice. I'm like, okay, I'll go to that town, but like, I don't fucking know where that town is, man. I don't know if I need to go through the whirlpool. I don't know if I need to fucking go through the cave of hell. Like, I don't know, and it's destroying me. And like, the game, it's forgiving. So when you die, you go back to town, but it starts to get a little unforgiving when it's like, well, you died, and we're going to take some of your gems from you. And I'm like,
that's right.
That doesn't sit right by me. I don't like it when they start taking my damn gems, because now I can use them finally. And
it's random, too.
Yeah, it's a random amount, and it's a random gem. So like, some of my gems are really rare, and I'm like holding on to them until I can complete a set in a certain class. And the game's just like, these ones are the ones we take this time. And I'm like, no. So I'm just going to have to start using a guide. I don't think I'm very far, though. I got one of the crystals, because the sand monster was like a crystal thing. So I did one of them out of, I don't know how many, but it's a rough game, though. It is pretty difficult.
It's not messing around. Yeah. That game on How Long to Beat was in the 40-hour range, and I was 70-something hours.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Does it show your...
and I was following a guide and still got lost a couple times.
Does it show your actual save file time? I don't know if I've noticed that. I know the...
No, I got to go into the activity thing.
Oh, okay.
So it's every time the program's open, Nintendo's logging it.
Yeah, I wonder if people are telling the truth about their times then, because... That's a big discrepancy right there.
I was doing that auto attack thing with one of the bosses that I couldn't beat.
Oh, yeah, and you left it on forever.
Yeah, hours and hours. So I couldn't tell you exactly how many hours I was over, but it was a lot. I think it's probably closer to the 55-hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's a big game. That's a big game.
It's a big game.
That's crazy.
And, like, you're in the part where everybody's, like, separating. There's a lot of turning into animals and crap. But then when all the party members get together, the gameplay kind of snaps into action, but also the game is more difficult. Like, the bosses are just to make up for the fact that you have a full party.
Oh, so it's FF3 all over again.
Yeah, it's not an easy game. It's not.
It's really a true ode to the previous games in the series, though. Like,
that's what it is.
It's a really good... I mean, everybody talks about FF9 being the one that does that. I think this one might do it even more.
Yeah.
To those first few, at least.
Yeah, it's got the crystals. It's got, like, a really bizarre linear story with, like, animal swapping.
Yeah.
And then... yeah,
it's FF1, 2, and 3 is what I think this one's kicking back to.
It's basically, yeah, it's a throwback game. And for those who don't know, Bravely Default was actually the planned sequel to this game, but they decided, I guess Bravely Default had the ability to be a bigger game if they just rebranded it, so they did.
That's interesting. In the past, they've done the opposite. They had games that they were
Final
like
Fantasy onto a game.
Yeah, they had games where like this could be bigger if we slapped Final Fantasy onto it.
I wonder if it's because at this point in time it has almost nothing to do with the main series Final Fantasy games, like the newer ones in terms of like style and everything like that. So slapping Final Fantasy onto it for a newer gamer might be, for one that's less informed and doesn't go online and look this stuff up, might be a little confusing.
Yeah, I could see that. And then maybe they're like, no, maybe we should be a little less like, we shouldn't give up our FF title that easily.
Yeah.
Keep our purity or something like that. I don't know.
We'll just slap the word remake onto
yeah, we'll do FF7
title.
Remake.
What if they did that for movies too? RoboCop remake. I mean, in common English, like, we're going to go back and forth and be like, RoboCop, the remake. Like, we'll say that.
Yeah,
but you don't put that on the title.
Yeah, you don't have to put that on the title. So many games have come out recently rebooting series, and they don't do that. They don't do remake. It's just Resident Evil 2. It's Doom. Then they put in parentheses 2016, but it doesn't say Doom 2016 on the cover. It just says Doom, because that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
You're not confusing it for the fucking 1993.
It could have happily been called Doom 4.
It could have worked,
and
as
it would
Doom
have
4.
been just as successful.
Yeah, but it's symbolic of the reboot, to just kind of reboot the name. God of War, same thing, reboot of the series.
That one needed a subtitle.
Yeah, you think so?
Because the first God of War is already a big classic game.
That's true. Yeah,
it's not as old as Doom is.
That's true. It's still like in the zeitgeist kind of a thing. Doom is like real old, 90s, early 90s. I could see that. God of War 1 came out in like 2005. So yeah, it's a little bit soon to be like, just kidding, this is God of War now.
Yeah, they just released God of War 3, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 10 years ago, but still.
Yeah, it came out a week after 13 did, so.
Yeah. So yeah, let's, I guess we could talk about KupoCon.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
So, should we just talk about it like we talk about our whole trip, or what?
Yeah, whole trip. We've got new slogans from this time. Like we got
new slogans.
It was all right. So last time we went to KupoCon, it was the very first KupoCon. It was our first time going to New York City as adults, at the very least. I think I went when I was a kid, but I don't really remember.
The thing is actually held in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes.
Which is a subway ride away.
It's like an hour and a half
from
trip.
New York City.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Right.
Because you don't want to spend your time in Newark, New Jersey. You want to spend your time in New York. But Newark is where the con is held. And so last time and this time, we got tickets to the con, and then also got a hotel stay at the hotel that the con was held at.
Yeah, the Robert Treat Hotel.
Robert's Treat Hotel.
Robert's Treat. His treat is very expensive alcohol in his food place.
Oh, and a cash-only snack
yeah.
place.
I don't know how I bought. I must have had cash last time because I remember buying something from the snack place and being like, "Oh, this is bitchin'. A little snack spot in here." This time you try to get a Red Bull and she's like, "Oh, cash only," and it's like, what world are we in here? Like cash only? What are you talking about? In Utah, there's like
no tax only.
Yeah, exactly. Like under the table, fool. How do you think we keep it so cheap in here? So yeah, that was
cheap.
Yeah, cheap my ass. So that was one thing. But yeah, we always stay in the hotel that the event is held at. And it was held in the same place as last time. The event, apparently it was 100 people, I think is what Alex was saying. It's 100 people bigger this time than last time. It was sold out this time. Yeah, I think that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
Because he said after like the third one, he realized that they don't have to follow Distant Worlds anymore because what they were doing is they were just going to places that were populated and big enough to do Distant Worlds, which would mean there's a Distant Worlds feels like there's a strong FF community there, so they like piggybacked off of Distant Worlds.
Sure.
To kind of get it rolling, which is a pretty damn good idea. I mean, that's sort of what we did with Retro RPG Cast. We piggybacked on a lot of the way they release content, and lately we've been releasing it kind of like they do, just whatever we can.
How dare you?
It's whenever we get the time.
It averages a week.
There's not a 2-year gap in ours, though.
No,
to be fair,
there's not.
Or like I think there was one time I was looking at it, I was like in a page of podcast episodes. It's like a 3-year period, and I'm like, fuck, Jesus. But yeah, you just kind of piggyback off of the success of that, and then when you pull the rug out and you go your own way. That's kind of what they did this time. Although, funnily enough, I think there was a Kingdom Hearts thing that was going on, but it was going on like when the con was going on. So now they're doing the opposite.
What?
Now they're like, fuck the concert, come to us instead. So now you gotta choose.
Oh, really? I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, someone was saying that.
Huh.
We only saw like one set of Kingdom Hearts cosplayers too, so maybe they lost out on some of those guys.
Yeah, and I saw someone in a Kingdom Hearts 3 t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it sold out completely. Yeah, Cameron joined us for this trip, and he was going to get a ticket, but they were gone. That was it.
So we learned a bit of a lesson last time. Last time we took an overnight flight from Salt Lake City Airport to Newark, or to JFK Airport in New York.
City, yeah.
Sorry. And this time I was like, we're getting daytime ones because I didn't want to screw up everybody's sleep schedule. And what happened last time was like we went in, I went to the con, and then after the con was done, we went and stopped at the hotel room for a bit, and I fell asleep and was asleep like for all the night stuff last time.
Yeah.
Every time. Like I just kept on, like I just didn't have enough sleep. My sleep was out of whack, and I just kept on falling asleep. So this time it was like, we're doing a day flight. I know it takes a chunk out of the day, but
yeah, I
don't want to have the same experience as last time. We took overnight flights both there and back, and it was just a nightmare both times. And so this time, day flight to New York City. We had big bags on us, so we decided to go straight to the hotel. Went to the hotel, saw a whole bunch of people hanging out in the lobby. Yeah.
Yeah, a few people we knew. Not on speaking terms, of course. Got to see him in his finest, laying on the floor with his...
Him?
It.
Okay.
Laying on the floor with its...
One of the guests...
Yeah.
One of the esteemed guests.
Esteemed guests.
Not one of the voice actors or anything like that.
No, those guys are fine.
One of the esteemed guests we have a history with on this show. And if you were listening since the beginning, you might be able to figure out who it is. We'll just call him a fan fiction writer. Yeah. A big-time fan fiction writer. Had his gut hanging out on the floor, and when we were just passing through, like exploring the hotel for a second, regaining our bearings as to where we were in Newark, I I saw his gut hanging out of his t-shirt, and I really wanted to snap a picture and then like tweet it to him.
Yeah. Well, at first you didn't know who it was, though.
No.
Joe was like,
"Geez,
that guy should not be sitting like that." And I was like, "Yeah, that's
him."
And you're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Oh yeah, that's him right there."
The entire KupoCon, because we saw him a few times.
Yeah.
We kept on making jokes about how we would act like we would go into the line or something like that and say Ultima sends its regards.
Yeah, and we just stab him.
And stab him.
Like, fuck you, blank blank. Or like whenever they did his like they clapped for him, we should have just been in the back. Boo!
Boo!
Boo! Fuck you! You thought you were too good for us. Boo!
Boo. This guy was a outspoken critic of super sexy swinging fan fiction.
Exactly, yeah. Honestly, I don't even really dislike the guy. I don't actually care, but it's just really funny.
I don't give a damn at all.
Yeah. If you want to watch your fake Final Fantasy stories, you can.
I wonder if he even remembers this.
He probably doesn't.
Yeah.
I bet if we would have brought it up, he'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. And be like, you ruined us and you don't fucking remember. You forgot?
So that was the night before the con. What did we do that night?
I believe
we ate at Halal.
Yeah, the Halal guys.
Yeah,
Halal guys. And we were joking about it because my cat. We've joked about my cat speaking on this podcast, and like the name of the Indian restaurant was Halal. It was Halal, and so I would just pronounce it like Wayland would if he were like trying to greet us once he finally grasps the English language. So just the Halal guys. It was good. I liked it. It was good.
It was good. It was good. It's like Middle Eastern food.
Yeah. No Hal or Al was not in though. I noticed that for sure.
No Hal or Al.
Yeah, maybe an Al, but I don't think so. I don't think there was an Al. There was definitely not a Hal.
Yeah. No Hal's available.
No, yeah. I was going to ask for Hal or Al, but I decided not to. I clearly
you had to ask for a fork.
Yeah, I had to ask for a fork after 10 minutes of waiting.
The first person we met there, I think, was Krinatal. We have a long relationship with him. We hung out last time we did the con. So
yeah.
We hung out with him pretty much the whole trip.
Pretty much, yeah.
And met a couple. Did we meet anybody else that night?
No, because Jamu got there and went to sleep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everybody else
there
had,
yet.
Fallen asleep.
Fundamop wasn't there yet. They were driving in the day.
Okay.
Most of the guys that came made a day trip out of it because they live kind of close.
Kind of close by.
Yeah, so they didn't stay for too long.
Yeah, so the next day was the con itself, and Cameron, who came with us, one of the hosts of Nude Clan, not able to get a ticket because they were, in fact, sold out. So he went to the 9/11 stuff, which we saw last time.
Yeah, he didn't go in, though. He didn't go in. He's like talking about the wall, and I'm like, no, Cameron. The wall, that's just the wall outside of the like turtle skeleton that's the mall now. That's the thing that I was like, really? They made a fucking mall here? And then I was like, oh no, there's totally a memorial. Okay, I thought they were like, remember while you spend.
While you spend money.
Yeah, in stores that are too good for you, traveler. So he went out and did that and did some New York stuff. And we went to the con. Started out, had the opening ceremony, and then they had like the signings for the guy who voiced Sora in Kingdom Hearts was there, who also voiced Reno in Final Fantasy VII. The movie Advent Children. Reno and Rude are probably some of the better voice actors in that movie too. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
So he was there. That was cool. The guy who sang the song in
Kingsglaive,
he was there. And then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, fucking Libertas, dude. And I've got some good stories for Libertas. I've got some great stories. So I walked up to him, and I'm in the line for signing.
We saw him at breakfast.
We saw him at breakfast, but we
recognized him immediately.
We saw him, yeah, because he looks like
Libertas.
Him and Ignis. And the guy who plays Ignis, we could tell because I saw him on the panel or whatever.
Yeah.
We didn't talk to him, though. I kind of wish we would have. But I was like...
I'll leave him alone for breakfast.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. It's breakfast. But then when I saw the way he reacted to people being excited about him, I'm like, oh, he would have loved it. He would have loved it for us to be like, oh, my God, it's you.
It's you.
We
the only person I said negative things about the voice work.
Yeah. They were like, I said he was terrible, and you said he was miscast. So
yeah.
I was way worse.
Yeah.
But there's some great stuff that we found out. So going through the line, getting some photos taken.
I gave my pass to Crinitol because I don't do those signing things.
Yeah.
I'm good. Maybe if it was like an author or something, but like actors, I'm like, I'm not gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I got a picture with each of them. So I tweeted out the picture with the guy who plays Ignis. That's the only one I tweeted out so far. I was just lazy. I was like, fuck, I don't want to be on Twitter while I'm here. So I got him, talked to him. I told him voice work is tough. And he's like, oh, do you do a little bit too? And I'm like, kind of. Yeah. Somebody gave me $100 one time when I was doing my voices half drunk on FF11. So, I mean, I feel like I'm a voice actor.
Sure.
And I told him, it's a podcast. And he's like, oh, that's great. That's great. He's like, all right, picture. And then I moved on. Next was the guy who played Sora. Honestly, he kind of reminds me, he looks like Sora, which is weird. He's got like reddish hair, and like the guy who cosplayed Sora looked really similar to the guy who voiced Sora. So I was like, this feels gross to me. For some reason, there's just something wrong here. But yeah, he's cool. He totally doesn't play games, I don't think.
Is it Sora he plays?
Yeah, it's Sora.
Are you sure?
And Reno, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Hold on, I'm looking this up. But go ahead.
Talked to him. He was pretty chill. He's definitely done these before. It might have been the guy who does the 14 song. Or no, I keep thinking 14 because I'm like...
It's Kingslave.
Because I'm thinking like movie or games with good songs, right? But no, it's the Kingslave guy. And his song is actually pretty cool from Kingslave, and I remembered it when he started playing it later.
I thought Sora was played by Haley Joel Osment.
Oh my god, dude. You're right. Who is it then? It's not Sora, it's one of the other guys from Kingdom Hearts. Sora has always been played by Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
But it was funny because Crinitol, I don't know, for some reason he was like convinced that Kingdom Hearts 4 was happening, and he kept asking the guy about Kingdom Hearts 4, and you could tell he was like, wait, what are you talking about? He's like, what? Because earlier he was like, they haven't contacted us about playing Reno or Reno in the FF7 remake. And then Crinitol was stuck on the idea of Kingdom Hearts 4, and this guy was like, fucking what? Square? Are you fucking serious? You're not gonna call me about 7 remake? You're not gonna call me about Kingdom Hearts 4? Like, fuck you! Fuck this convention! I'm sick of this fucking place! Fuck you guys! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Like, he looked like he was, like, really getting uncomfortable. And I'm a Crinitol. What are you talking about? There's no fucking Kingdom Hearts 4. It's like, it's 3, man. It's fucking 3. It just came out. Like, I don't know what the ending is, so there might not be a 4.
He plays Axel in Kingdom Hearts.
Axel, yeah. And the guy was dressed as Axel. That's right. The guy who was dressed as Axel looked disturbingly similar to the voice actor for Axel, who looks like he belongs in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Okay. We got it.
Not Sora. Haley Joel Osment is Sora. You're right. I remember one of the funniest things I found in the old episodes of Ultima Final Fantasy was Joe saying to Caleb Craig and me, he's like, Haley Joel Osment should have stayed little forever. And then like 2 seconds later, he's like, oh my God, I should not have said that. I really should not have said that. And I didn't really know who he was at the time, but when I heard that, listening back a few months ago, I was dying, dude. I was like, oh my God. It's like I just barely watched him in that like Ted Bundy film on Netflix, and I'm like, yeah, he looks the same. And he's like trying to be a dad figure for this family, and I'm like, I just can't take it seriously. He's just like it's just like a Craig guy. He's just a little bit, a little too heavy to take seriously, but not heavy enough to be like, okay, whatever. And he looks like a kid. He just looks like a kid.
He looks like a kid.
He fucking looks like a child. It's timeless. It's fucking timeless. Haley Joel Osment.
Thanks for bringing that back up.
Should have always stayed little. Should have stayed little forever. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no. So he was there. He was like freaking out internally and slightly externally about Kingdom Hearts 4 and getting shafted by Square Enix for voice casting. And then, yeah, Stormblood singer guy, he was cool. He seemed really energetic. God damn it, Kingsglaive singer guy. The Starblood singer is
because we watched his interview. We watched his interview.
Yeah, he was cool. He was good. And then the Primo,
a lot of kazoos, which you'll hear in my little montage of shit.
Yeah. The Primo interview was with Libertas, right? And so I go up to him and I'm like, "Hey, man, great job in the movie." I was like, "You're my second favorite character in that movie." And he's like, "Really? Who's your favorite character?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the one cop guy that like does the drive-by on those one dudes." And you know what he told me? He said he did the body for that guy.
Are you serious?
So he's that guy. Yeah, he fucking mocap the like nationalist cop that's like amazing in that movie. So I was like, "Oh my God, you're kind of that dude too." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "So I mean, what did you have to do to get into the mindset of being a person that was shamed for taking painkillers after your leg was completely crushed?" And this is where I
did he laugh? Like, what was his reaction?
He did. He laughed at that. Yeah, okay. He thought it was pretty funny. And then he was like, "Well, they actually had about 4 minutes of scenes with me in them that they cut from the final film. They kind of explained that, but then they didn't." He's like, "They didn't really change the rest of it. They just left it in there."
It's like, so right now, guys, if you watch Kingslave, this character's journey is his leg is fucking crushed.
Yeah.
2 days later, even though his leg is barely recovering,
it should be.
He's got to throw away the pain pills. He thinks he has a problem with pain pills, despite the fact his legs were just shattered.
Yeah.
And it's totally okay.
There's an episode in The Wire where a guy's legs get crushed by like a crate and they're like flattened. That's what would happen to this guy's legs. And it was a boulder, so like I don't think his leg would be on his body anymore.
Yeah.
But it was, and they're shaming him for pain pills. Like I was just like, what the fuck is this painkiller shame? It's like, you really can't live without him, huh? And he's like, "Fuck you guys, man. Like, just look at me. Look at my leg. It's like a fucking pancake right now. What, I don't know why they didn't just cut the fucker off. But yeah, I'm gonna take painkillers because that's all that there is down there is pain." Yeah. So apparently, there's 2 scenes in there that he like becomes addicted to the painkillers that they remove from the movie. He talks about how he needs them because he witnessed all of his friends die in front of him. And, like, that's why he needed him. It wasn't so much for the pain. It was because he's becoming a drug addict. And that's why his character spirals and he becomes part of the whole revolution thing. And that ends up turning south and he ends up realizing the error of his ways and then leading the princess out of the thing. And I'm like, well, that would have been really great to have in the movie. Why did they cut that? Because then the rest of the movie doesn't make sense. It's like we could tell something was missing because they were shaming the guy for pain pills. I'm like, does Japan like have a stigma against like, oh, you're weak for your aspirin for your headache? Oh, little baby needs some fucking aspirin. Like, I don't know that that's a thing. I've never heard of that. And like, apparently that's why. It's because they cut 2 scenes from the movie, like 4 minutes of content explaining and like showing his like him devolving into this drug addict to these pain pills.
Yeah, so far it was just. He's like, wow, I really shouldn't be taking these, even though my leg was just crushed.
Yeah. Because I saw
Maybe I shouldn't be driving.
I saw the boulder fall on him. I'm like, oh, that guy's leg is gone. And then he's walking, and I'm like, what? He's got crutches. But I'm like, Jesus, that guy's tough. And then he's getting shamed for the pain pills. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But yeah, that's apparently the reason why. It doesn't make sense. So, guys, if you're going to edit something like a movie, if you remove scenes like this, you have to remove the scenes in the future where that's a payoff to the scene that was the setup. You can't leave the payoffs in there. You can leave setups in there and not pay them off, I guess. You shouldn't, but you really shouldn't leave payoffs to no setup. That's totally worse. Because like a payoff or a setup could be like, oh, it's mysterious, like we never really understood the character. But the payoff is just, it just doesn't make sense when it's like
it throws away pill bottles. Is like, you should keep those.
Yeah, like those
for a
are
little while longer.
Those are prescribed to you for a reason, man. Like you really need that for your sanity. Like, and then his judgment went downhill after that. He like joined the little rebellion thing, and everybody got killed. Take your pain pills, people.
So he knew about the pain pills.
He did. Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Good.
That guy was pretty great too.
Yeah, he's pretty entertaining on the stage. The Ignis guy as well. Sorry, I don't remember these guys' names off the top of my head. The Ignis guy Also really good on the stage. One of my favorite things was like some lady asked a question about... First, she had to say that her child was being brought up privileged. And I was like...
Yeah. And
Okay.
before this, I was like, wow, New York is not like I thought it was. Like, you always hear about how it's just like the bluest place in the world, you know, and it's like, you're always going to hear about these things.
Not even close.
No. It's just a big city. Everybody's honking at each other. It's a lot of like, fucking driving here. It's mostly coming from us, but, you know, it seemed like a normal place. But then the lady comes up and it's like, my child is being brought up privileged. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, okay. And I'm like, what does this have to do with the Ignis guy?
No idea.
Everything.
Everything.
It has everything to do with the Ignis guy. Because then she asked about like sustainability or something like that.
She asked where could they take their son?
Oh, yeah,
that's
right.
Guys. Every question asked in that line for those two voice actors gave me stomach pain.
Almost everyone. The last one was a girl asking about like how to start with voice acting like a good place. And I was like, that's a good question. And they were running out of time, so that's the one we got the least time with. But yes.
Anyway.
Up to then.
Hatred of all these people. Because none of them have con smarts. Remember our conversation like a month and a half ago?
Yeah.
About like asking appropriate, interesting questions to these actors.
Yeah. Clearly not listeners.
None of them listen to that.
They need to be listeners.
Oh my God. No listeners that I know of asked any questions in the line that day. Perhaps they were shamed from not doing it. But
yeah.
I don't know. Either way, she talks about how her kid's growing up in privilege and like what part of the world has this guy been to that could really show you the effects of like that humans are having on the environment. Like, I guess to nail it home for her son. It's like how you're going to use all that jet fuel to get you to a place to show you why you shouldn't be using all that jet fuel.
To get you to places. Yeah.
To get you to places so you can see the effect on the environment. And it was like, yeah, you see parts of the Amazon that have been basically chopped down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he went on a whole thing about how you don't have to do that. You don't have to take your kid to the Amazon just to teach him a lesson, especially if it's a lesson about how privileged you are. How about you don't take your fucking kid to South America? How about you tell him to save up money and get a job at Taco Bell, save up money for the trip to South America? Then you'd probably be teaching him a totally different kind of lesson. But I guess this is about the environment.
Right.
Whatever. Fuck that person. Anyway, Ignis, talks about, what you could do to help the environment. Only eating. He's not suggesting that you be a vegan, but, if you only ate meat twice a week, the effect would be monumental and all this other stuff. And one of the things that he listed very loudly so that everybody could very clearly get the message was get rid of single-use plastic bottles. If you have a water bottle, get a reusable plastic bottle. I swear to God, he talked about it for 30 seconds, the reusable plastic bottle thing.
Yeah.
My favorite things was one of the volunteers from KupoCon wearing a bright green shirt, had a big camera strapped to his chest, was taking his sweet break while Ignis is being interviewed. And in the middle of don't use reusable plastic bottles.
Yeah.
My God, I wish I had a picture of this.
He was
this guy very near the stage chugging a big crinkled up plastic bottle, just gulping
Joe just
down.
goes, man. Joe's just laughing out loud. And the guy looked over at us while Joe was laughing, and he's just like, "What? What's going on?"
If I had the video, it would be perfect. From my point of view, if I had the video of Ignis going on a whole bunch of things you don't want to use, and then that guy just chugging his single-use plastic water bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, it would have been beautiful. But also, I think it was either that lady or the lady after who asked a question left their single-use plastic bottle.
Yes, it was the one
at
after.
the microphone stand, and someone else tripped over it. I was I was having a pretty good time watching this amazing amount of hypocrisy
Yeah.
go on in front of me.
I really hate the word privileged. I would prefer it to be lucky. Like, we were lucky to be born in America. I don't know if it's really a privilege. It's just like, we just happen to be born here. That doesn't mean we don't have a responsibility to help other places, but like, the idea, the word privilege just makes it sound so snobby. Like, so stuck up, you know? Like, doesn't it? It's just like a negative connotation to it to me. It's like, I was lucky and someone else was unlucky. Like, it doesn't mean I shouldn't help them. It just doesn't mean I'm like fucking, I'm privileged per se. I don't know. The way the word sounds just bothers me. It makes it seem like we're doing something wrong by being lucky and being born here. And it's not wrong or right. It's just nothing. It just is. But yeah, that was... Anyway, so that... immediately I was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. It's like, here we go.
I'm gonna use the $10 word of the day right now.
With the bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, the second one, I was like, oh my
I prickle
God.
All
like,
that kind of stuff. So
it's like, just fuck off. Like, I don't... It's not that I don't want it to be cleaner and, like, I don't want us to, like, help people in need. Like, I do. I'm just not at a fucking con for that. I'm not at a single-use plastic bottle con. I'm at fucking KupoCon. Fuck. But it makes sense with the Ignis guy being such a...
I mean,
he's a big deal in the community, apparently. He's apparently real into it, so...
But the hilarity of...
The guy
drinking the bottled water at the same time.
He was like on one knee too. It was like almost like a kneeling Captain Morgan stance, and he's just fucking powering. He was
suckling the teeth of Dasani or whatever.
Suckling that single use bottle teat. And you know what? I refilled my bottle from that day. I used it twice. The fuck was that?
I don't know, some kind of Steam notification or something. That was really funny. Then we, every time, because we were like, we're going to get drunk tonight, and also we need to go find something to eat. So we kept on using like the little breaks. They had like the, what do you call that? They had the stuff to work on. They had like... Yeah,
workshops. It was mostly, this time it was mostly get photos with this happening and this happening and this happening. And I wasn't really into that at all. Personally.
The quests.
The quests last time I think were better.
Yeah.
Because last time it was like, find this person or find this or attend this. And they were like little events that you could go to, little actual workshops. And this time it was more like, here's the merch, here's this, go take photos. And it's like, okay.
They must have found it was like a better system for them.
Yeah, it's probably easier.
And if they get that many photos, they can use that on social media.
Exactly, to grow it.
Their brand.
That's exactly what I thought. And I was like, not into that as much. I'll post mine and I'll retweet
we'll have
all the
whole
ones.
podcast about going to KupoCon.
Yeah, but fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. It's like I could see where they're coming from, but it just wasn't I wasn't as into it. Like last time, I almost got every quest done because I was like, wow, this is really engaging. You got to kind of haul ass. This one was a lot more laid back. There was a lot more time in between sessions and in between things. And
yeah, they weren't rushing it. I think. I mean, last time they had us on a panel with. Like
Nerdstradamus.
We had Nerdstradamus there, and then they had another guy who was something.
Mr. Happy was there too.
Something in the community, and we all just talked about Final Fantasy. And we had about 20 minutes. I recorded it. It's on the last KupoCon episode we had.
Yeah. That didn't work out.
That was supposed to be like a whole hour.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
And we had to get rushed off because we were always catching up on time. So obviously he has less things where we're all watching it. Mm-hmm. This time he also didn't divide the rooms, which I thought was probably a mistake sound-wise, because every time like the Reno voice actor was talking or something like that,
people in the background
composer, there's still a bunch of people talking in that room. So I was like, oh, the sound's already not great in this room, so not sure about that. But
I think overall he's better. Alex Main, the head guy, is better at doing cons now.
He's a good host.
He's a really good host. He doesn't need anyone else.
During the closing ceremonies, they had a whole bunch of awards, which is cool. And then they had the
Cosplay
Awards, which an event happened that underlined the fact that Alex is a pro and also made me want to kill myself for a little while. And thank God Alex was the one handling it, because I was like, if I was in that situation, what do I do?
Yeah, do you be a dick?
Do you be a dick? Or what? And somehow he was able to dodge around, and I gotta say, it was impressive, Alex, if you're listening to this. Your ability to handle that situation.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he hates us, but yeah, go ahead.
Was spectacular.
That was good. Yeah, I was impressed.
So the thing that he did, or that they did at the cosplay thing, was
so throughout the night they had a big section where they showcased everyone's cosplay. They got up on stage. They said, "Hi, I'm blah, 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 and I'm cosplaying," and then they went and did like a little stance that made you uncomfortable every time to watch. And then they got off the stage. A bunch of other people came in later in the con, and you had these tickets, these cosplay contest tickets that you had to give out. I believe it was the person that you wanted to see naked the most, but we were like, no, that's fucking brutish. We're gonna give it to the best cosplay. I don't even think you gave yours out. Honestly,
I didn't, and I would have given it to the person I wanted to sleep with the most. As well.
yeah. I ended up giving it. I was like, okay, who's got a really good costume? And then someone was like, oh, this person up in the front over here does. And I went up there, and then I saw the girl in the judge. The girl judge outfit
from 14,
from 12, and I was like, no, she gets it, because the Shiva one was the one they told me to give it to, and I was like, no, that judge outfit is fucking sweet, so I gave it to her. And then everyone like compiles. They basically were like, all right, if you have one ticket for the cosplay thing, stand up. And then like almost everyone sits down, and then it moves up and up and up until he got like down to the final 12 or 10 or so people. And then he brought them all up on stage, and they would announce, oh, I have this many, I have this many, I have this many. People would get eliminated. They would go off the stage, so on and so forth. Now, when it got down to the end, where it was the Shiva, who I almost gave my ticket to, and the judge, who I did give my ticket to, the Shiva gave her tickets to the judge.
Adia.
Oh, Adia gave it to the judge.
Adia gave her tickets.
Admittedly, the judge's costume was probably one of the best ones there.
Yeah.
And the Adia one was just Adia. I don't know. It's not a bad cosplay, but I'm like, I mean, are we kidding here? Like, come on, this one's fucking bitchin'. This one you had to build. The Adia one, you just have to find a dress that's real tight on you and get the little head thing, the hair thing, right?
Okay.
It was a good cosplay. But she knew she had to step down, and she gave it to the judge.
No, what she said was like, well, I got this many tickets, but because one person got 18 tickets or something.
Yeah.
It was like a ridiculous amount. And then she was like, oh, I'm actually going to I got 9, but I'm going to give all of them to her.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, Jesus.
It was like, oh, you can't do that.
Oh,
and then
you can't do that.
Alex is like, I don't know if we should do that.
You can give one to her. You can give yours to her.
Yeah.
So I just like immediately just felt like the amount of anxiety I had in that moment.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you fucking people. Con smarts. God damn it. Don't give your stuff away, man. Con smarts.
Con smarts.
You get the fucking con smarts.
Don't try to outsmart the host.
Don't make the host look like a fucking asshole.
Don't put him in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
That's exactly what she did.
And I was like, oh man, how is he going to handle this? So he handles it in the most baller way possible. He's like, well, I don't think this is fair, but the one who was going to win, they had a separate thing for her. They had the panelist choice, so like the choice of us, and then they had like the convention's choice, so like the guys in charge voted as well. And I don't know if they actually voted for the one that they gave it to, but it doesn't matter, because he's like, you won the one that we were going to give, and then you guys can take the other one. You guys can split it, because it was a tie now.
Yeah.
And so he gave it to the one who got shafted because of the donated 9 tickets. He gave the choice of their choice. I can't remember what he called it.
The volunteer's choice? Or
something like that.
I don't remember.
He was like, this one goes to you, so you're not getting screwed over. And then you two can split this one because you brought this upon yourselves. And then that was how it ended. And I was like, great job. Like, holy shit, because at first it's like, oh man, this chick had so many. She had like 28. She had like 28 things, and I was like, man, I would be pissed if I was like going to get shafted out of that. I wonder if it's like, wait, we didn't give it to her, and Alex is like, shut up.
This is how I had to deal with the situation.
Just let me fucking do this thing. Just let me do this. You guys are gonna bring anarchy to this thing. I gotta set this right.
Oh my
and then he just does it. Yeah, it was a close one because I was like, oh, why would you do that? What the fuck, man? You're like, it's cool and it's nice that you want to give it to the one that you think is better and all, but like, it was supposed to be a weird popularity contest. We were all supposed to give it to who we thought had the best one, right? And doing that kind of undermines the whole democracy involved with that. Not that there's not like side stuff, clearly.
I'll give all mine to you.
Yeah. Like but it was he handled it greatly. It was really good. He's a pretty damn good host. He doesn't need another YouTube channel hosting for him.
Hosting for him.
He doesn't need anyone hosting.
Or
he does
us.
a great job. Yeah. I mean, we could do a fantastic job. It's his con. So
anyway, that day we hung out with Fun to Mop, A for Extreme. Hung out with Krinital, of course. We met a couple other listeners.
Yeah.
Who I wasn't able to see later in the day, so I wasn't able to get a recording with them.
Yeah, old DiGiorgio,
yeah, and there was another
buddies.
friend with him.
Yeah.
That I think listened to the show.
I don't think the one guy's on Twitter, but he said he wasn't.
Yeah,
but yeah, we met like a decent amount of people compared to last time.
Darth Jomu came from Sweden. We were with him a little bit.
We had Steven from Canada, from Ontario.
Yeah, that's right, Steven.
Is he from Ontario? Is that what he said? I feel like it
Toronto,
was. Toronto, that's right. Some kind of O's and T's, man. They're really into their O's and T's. Mm-hmm. He came down again, so that was cool.
So we basically, throughout the day, kind of like talked to them a little bit. Some of them were in costume.
Yeah.
Hung out in between sessions. Us and Fun to Mop and A for Extreme.
Yeah, we
went
finally
to get some pizza. Mm-hmm. When one of the panelists that we have an issue with,
that was during the break.
Was talking.
We got booze during his panel.
We got booze during his panel.
Yeah, remember because we got booze later and we crammed into the car, and it was because we had like an hour plus.
Oh, the reason we had an hour plus is because
there was a break, and then there was
a break, and then there was someone who, if you listen to an old episode, you'll know what happened.
We'll just politely decline.
Well, yeah, it was none of the official people.
No one important.
No one important. Just someone who, when he sits on the ground, doesn't pull his shirt down.
Yeah, God, it's such dicks.
We're such dicks.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. He was a dick to us first, though.
Oh, he was a piece of shit to us. So I don't know. I'll allow full Joe asshole mode to come out.
All right,
why not?
All right, just don't tweet this person if you know who he is. Don't say shit. All right, no more of this. Joe weaponizing the listener base.
Social media.
No more weaponizing our listeners and their Twitter accounts. Just fucking. Just enjoy it and just leave it there.
Just let it go.
Just let it fucking go. So we did.
Like we have, of
like
course.
we have, as you can tell. Right?
But anyway, I didn't give a shit about who was speaking then. We did, what was the pizza place we went to? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember what it's called.
It was it was a Spanish name. It's like Venezuela Pizza or something like that.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
It was really good. Really unusual Supreme Pizza. It had like corn and stuff on it. But it was like their restaurant was themed, I think it was Venezuela. So it was kind of pizza plus some South American stuff in it.
One of those shithole countries.
But you know what? She made fresh pizza. She brought the pizza out, each individual like piece.
It felt like a Pizza Hut that was made in a broom closet, really is what it was. We had we sat down and our group of 6 took up almost all of the restaurant.
That's true. We had that a couple times.
Oh, yeah, a few times.
On this vacation.
New York is not made for the amount of people that show up to it.
No. That's true.
But yeah, that was good.
We ate that pizza. We came back, toured the workshops a little bit. I toured the workshops about 4 times.
Yeah.
First off, There's some amazing artists out there. I want to say my favorite one. I'll check it to you later. Yeah, there was. Sorry, I lost my train of thought earlier, and it was because I was like, oh, we took a lot of breaks, and a lot of breaks were like, one break was let's go eat something. Another break was let's go get booze because we want to get drunk tonight. We tried to make those both the same break. No, then we didn't have time.
Right,
so we had to like
took a
trek
while.
across town.
Yeah,
we also had Crinitol just like get his car so that we could go to a liquor store.
Yeah,
and get the booze.
Oh man, we had 6 people in a car made for 5 people.
That's right,
and 4 of those people were a little heavier.
What do you say?
Just a little bit bigger than the normal person.
Sure.
And we had A for Extreme on our lap basically the entire time. And each trip I had someone else's arm over my shoulder. It was packed. It was illegal, but we got some booze. Decently priced booze out there. I will say that. That was good.
Not as cheap as California.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things that California's cheaper with. It's like the things that'll destroy your life. So booze is cheaper.
I thought the food was pretty reasonable out there too. Honestly, like I mean, it's not as cheap as Utah. When we got back and we had the Mexican food in the
it's not $14.
yeah, it's like it's only $8. The cookie, and you're like, you sure that cookie's only $2, Caleb? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. We're back home. So we ate that. We got back. We got the booze. We went back for closing ceremonies.
Closing ceremonies when the costuming thing happened. They gave out a Warrior of Light award to someone who had been to like a bunch of different cons.
Yeah. I laughed at that one. I was like, it's the Warrior of the Wallet award goes to, and it was some guy who had been to like 7 of these things, and I was like, holy fuck! Like, I thought it was impressive that we had someone come from Sweden and do their first one here, but we also had Crinitol who did one here twice, one in Canada, and I'm like, who's going to be at more of these things?
I wish I could follow this thing around.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun.
Be like a roadie for the fucking con.
There's something interesting though. Like there were like a couple people in there. They give you these badges that you can put on your chest if you were coming to the con by yourself. I was surprised how many people I saw there that were like that.
They had badges, but you're solo.
They had a little chocobo sticker that you put on your chest to say that you were there alone, so you could like hang out with other people that didn't come in groups. I thought that was ingenious, by the way.
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so there were just people that came to this con alone.
Huh.
Like, so there's like legitimately, and they were like making friends with each other. Like, I thought that was like, oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah. That was interesting. And honestly, I feel like I wonder if these are like not our scene, these cons and stuff. Maybe that's why we don't do that. Because we'll talk to people. I'll talk to people, and I did in the hotel and stuff, and numerous times. But it's not like, I don't know. I don't feel like we forged those connections like some of these other people were doing, and it's really cool to see that.
We're doing this as a support to our podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
Other people like love the series so much that they're going to this thing. There are a couple people that went to this thing to see us.
That's true. Yeah.
And hang out with us plus con. And like the con is like the excuse to go over there.
Right.
So yeah, it's not quite our scene. I mean, that's why we're like, we'll be there for one day and go see New York the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the way we are, and that's kind of the way the show is.
It's kind of what we want. Yeah.
And so. And then that night they had like an after party thing. We had to go get. We spent the $20 on the wristbands. We got drunk. We went down into like the party thing. I guess there was some stuff that happened when we weren't there, but we were there for like 10 minutes. Interviewed Darth Jomu, stood around for a little while, saw some people dancing. Wasn't drunk enough to dance, I guess. They like decided to we'll just party in our room and talk to everybody there. We hung out with listeners in the room, got drunk beforehand.
Oh, yeah.
And then back up in the hotel room, we're like, Felicia and her husband are in this room. Let's go visit them. So we went down there, visited them. You interviewed her. I got too sick. I went back up to the hotel room, sobered up a little bit, came back down. And then we were off. Some people went to bed. after kind of the after party had kind of slowed down, Steven let us know, it was time to go do some other stuff. So there was a barcade, which is a bar/arcade, just down the street from this thing, which was not there last time we came.
No, there was a bar there, but it was a sad bar.
So we went over there, and you guys got more drinks. I was done with drinking, but we went and played in the arcades.
It was a lot of fun.
Which was pretty awesome. There's a 4-man Pac-Man that was legit.
Oh, yeah, that was great. And you could play it pretty drunk. Like, you can... The only hard thing is your timing is awful. So, like, I'll be going for one of those big balls, and, like, I'll miss the turn, and then I'll just get eaten. I'm like, fuck, if I were sober, I would have got that big ball in my mouth. And instead, I got to watch it get devoured by Joe, and then Joe devours me, and now I'm fucking out. That is a great fucking game, though. I loved the 4-man Pac-Man, and that bar was pretty sweet. It wasn't super expensive for the drinks. I mean, it's not cheap. It's still a bar. But I think I only spent like $30 there, and I got a big old thing of fries. Talked with some dude there forever.
Yeah, there were some drunk guys that came in at like 2 a.m. right before we were about to leave.
Oh, yeah.
They come from the con, and we met those people.
Yeah.
They were really
that guy
out of it.
Yeah, the bald guy that I was talking to, I think he might have been drunker than me.
He's a big-time white mage.
And I was
Let me tell you.
fucked up. Yeah.
He was wearing the white mage costume. He played a white mage in 14.
Yeah.
And all they were talking about was like the new set of
Joe was sizing him up, too.
Stuff.
Joe's like, no, bro, I'm the white mage. And I feel like we belittled your white maging a little there, too. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that, too.
Being like, oh, so you don't like let us die while you're in, while you're in the one mode that lets you do more damage. You don't do that with your party? Oh, that must be nice. It must be real great.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, where's the heal? Oh, wait, no. We're all dead, and now he's dead.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it's fine.
So that was kind of the end of the festivities. Most of the people went home. Steven and the person that he came in with, they decided to go to the Pride Parade the next day, which was the big thing in New York.
Yeah.
I was going to do the day after the con was the day I wanted to come back to the hotel, record with a bunch of listeners, but it just didn't end up happening.
No, it just didn't work out.
So we just ended up having a huge day at New York. By the way, this is the second time we've gone to the Natural History Museum. We've still not seen the whole thing.
No, yeah. It's huge.
Went to the Natural History Museum. It closes kind of early. We went over to we went to see the St. Paul or St. Patrick's Cathedral, which they were having a mass at the time, so we just kind of stood in the back of the room, looked. Whoa.
I was like, "Can we take mass?" And we weren't sure, so we didn't take mass.
And
it's like, "Hey, can you give me a couple shots of that wine?" And then I've sinned a lot. I haven't ever taken mass, so you're gonna have to give me a bottle of that.
We basically kept walking. Oh, that morning. So this is just like us, me, Schweiss and Cameron and Krinital.
Yeah.
We had 2 days out together, basically.
Yeah, we took Extreme home, basically. He loaned us a copy of this weird, those old games that they used to do all the time where you just connect the red, white, yellow to your TV and it's its own game of Dragon Quest, so the Dragon Quest guys can review that on their show. Cool. He gave that to us. He said he doesn't want it back, so that's... I was like, wow, awesome. I have an electronic fucking sword in my backpack. But yeah, he gave us that, and then he went on his way. I think Fundamop left earlier that day, too. So a lot of the guys that lived in the area, they just came for the day, and then they were like, all right, well, it's good meeting you, but,
fuck off.
Yeah, it's like, I got a wife back at home, and I'm rearing to get here. And I was like, fine. I don't know if
that's
it was
how the conversation went.
Yeah. A4 is just like... it drives off. No, it was good though, and I was like, all right, I get that. I kind of wish some of them would have hung around a little, but honestly, they live in Philly and shit. So New York they've probably done New York.
Yeah,
they probably don't give a shit. They're like, I could spend $200 on anything right now. It's not. I don't need to go to the fucking Empire State Building. I've been there.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Cathedral. We ate some New York pizza that had some good review clippings on the thing.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Pizza was okay.
It's only been okay. I feel like we're not New York pizza guys. I think the one that we had that night where we just had one slice. I think the one that we had one slice of was really good. And I kind of think the New Jersey pizza was kind of better.
It was.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
It was way better.
Will you people talk about New York? And it's like, we have the pie in Salt Lake City that would dunk on your New York pizza's asses. Like, it's so good.
We went to Chinatown to go to a restaurant as well. It was like Woe Key or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, Woe something. It was 5 letters tops.
We went there.
That's
the first place we were going to was like packed.
Yeah.
Then we went to the next place, and then we went inside. We realized it was way nicer a restaurant than we were dressed for. Cameron was like having an anxiety attack because of that, and I was just kind of like, well, just try to fit in or whatever.
And then other people came in that were the same way, and I was like, oh, these are just nicely dressed Japanese people here, or Chinese people that we're with.
And so they brought in the Chinese. We each ordered an item off the menu like we were going to have our own plate, but actually it was a place that just like put the food in the middle, and then you served yourself. The guys who were the waiters there were not used to speaking English as well, so I was like, oh, this is real Chinatown. Anyway, the food was fantastic.
Oh yeah, dude, those dumplings, holy shit. Those were, I almost wanted to just eat the dumplings. I was like, these are so fucking perfect. Like, they're just soft and hot and like, fuck. The meat inside is so fresh. God damn it, dude. It was good. It was legit. It was really fucking tasty.
And let's see, what did we have?
Chinatown was the smelliest fucking area. It makes sense though, because in New York, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know this already. In cities that were made when horses were not the meta for travel, we have areas for our garbage that's not right next to the street where everybody's walking. But in New York, there's just bags of trash. And those bags of trash contain chicken and other things at Asian places that are real big, because chicken's amazing and they're really big into cooking chicken. There's like 30 different chickens, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So the smell in there, I was like, oh, God, I can't believe we're about to go eat. That's one of the unfortunate parts about the big city. The cool part is that they each get their own little like basement area. They're like fucking root cellar underneath their businesses where they store everything. Yeah, Chinatown. It smells bad, but it's really, that food was really good, and that wasn't even like the one we were gonna go to.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a ramen house, and Cameron was all like butthurt for a while that we didn't go to the ramen house. But it's like, what? Ramen, like, you can get ramen here that's pretty decent. Like,
yeah, and ramen's like Japanese, right? So
yeah, it is. Yeah,
go to Japantown.
Exactly. This is Chinatown, not Japantown.
Come on, this is Chinatown. So yeah, the Chinese food was great.
Yeah.
Then we went to Empire State Building, saw the view from there. Kind of a ripoff. Just go to the Freedom Tower.
Yeah, the nice thing about Empire State is you get to go outside.
Yeah, the outside the part was nice.
That was awesome. But you can't really go.
And it's a good view.
It is a good view. You have to pay extra to go up to the real top, and it was already like $40, and I'm like,
yeah.
Plus, it was another one of those where you got to take your belt off and stuff like that. And I always just get my panties always get up in a bunch when I have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. It was worth it.
Yeah, the World Trade Center is a better view.
It is, and its elevator hauls some serious ass.
Yeah.
It's really fucking fast.
But anyway, then we walked through Times Square.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much our trip.
Yeah, it's a lot gayer than I remembered last time. It was the Pride Parade. I totally forgot about that, and I was like, man, there's a lot of just like... There's a lot of gay.
There's a lot of tits, too.
There's a lot of... Man, yeah.
No one was wearing clothes during Gay Pride. I don't know how Gay Pride Parade is also...
Naked Day Parade.
Naked Day or near Naked Day, but apparently it is.
But for us male chauvinists, it makes it more like...
It does. I was telling Schweiss...
Palatable, I suppose.
I was, I couldn't really function throughout the ending part of the day because I was functioning at 10% chub.
Yeah, you got like a little chub going.
The entire day. Because definitely the next day was not as visually.
No, yeah, everybody had their clothes back on.
Yeah, everybody had their clothes back on. All the young people were back inside, I guess, or working.
Yeah.
So it was too bad because the first day was eye candy day.
Yeah.
And the second day was, I guess, eye candy, but it was the Met.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We went to the Met. We saw about 3/4 of the Met because, once again, another museum that is too big to see in a day, which is insane.
Huge, yeah.
We got... What did we eat that day? Was it just the fish and chips?
No, we got the fish and chips and then the cheesecake.
We got the fish and chips and the cheesecake. Both, by the way, my favorite things we ate.
Yeah.
On the trip.
It was Assault and Battery was the name of the fish and chips place.
Okay.
Real British, dry-ass humor. And then it was Elaine's fine cheesecake or whatever. Because I remember I had the Alone in the Dark joke like 50 times. It was like, Elaine? Carnby? Yeah. Elaine? Both were so good. The thing about fish out here in Utah, like we're pretty far from the ocean, so I don't really buy it ever.
It's not fresh.
It's not fresh, yeah. And there it was flaky. It was
so good,
perfect, and the fries were really great.
So good.
The lady serving us was great, just great time. You could buy Guinness,
fantastic.
Yeah,
saw the Trump Tower.
We did see the Trump Tower. There were some armed guards out front.
There were. Protecting that old Melania.
Yeah, that's right. That was some good food. And that cheesecake, oh, dude. God, that is such good cheesecake. And that was another thing. We were like, we got to get a dessert that's New York dessert. And they were like, oh, my God, New York cheesecake, right?
Yeah, this place
was the
best reviewed on Yelp. So
yeah, and just little single-serve cheesecakes. We got was it like the cheese something? Cannoli, yeah. It was like the best one last year, apparently. So we all got that, and it was delicious, man.
Excellent cheesecake. I definitely went off my no-carb diet. Didn't get a migraine, though, so that's nice, yet.
There you go.
I still say yet, but I'm not eating that way for
anymore.
A while. No. Next 2 days, I need to get back to normal.
Yeah, I'll go back tomorrow. I'm too fat, dude.
Yeah, dude.
We Joe and I exchanged fat suits this time.
Yeah, in case you didn't hear, I'm now the skinnier host of the Nude skinniest host of Nude Clan and skinniest host of UFO.
I mean, you're not really a host of Nude Clan, so
go fuck yourself.
I'm just saying, man. I didn't quit. You quit. I didn't quit you. You quit us.
Hiatus.
Hiatus, yeah. It is technically, if you come back, it's hiatus.
Yeah.
Or if you plan to, I suppose you could say. Yeah.
I lost weight, twice gained weight. It feels good. Shove it in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, that part was really great. We did the Met. That was fun. A lot of great exhibits there. I really
Cameron
liked the
constantly
armor.
complaining about the humidity.
Yeah. It was fucking humid, though.
Like, see my hair, dude? See it?
Like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's just drenched. I'm like, yeah, look at mine. I'm drenched too.
Yeah, all of us are sweating.
Everyone is drenched. Like, it was miserably hot a couple of those days, though. Like, so hot.
I think it's hotter here right now.
It is, but it's not.
Utah.
It's less unacceptable. It's just unacceptably hot there.
I actually kind of disagree.
By the end, I got pretty used to it, I think.
It's a little bit more humid in LA, so maybe I'm just used to it a little bit.
You probably are.
But I was just like, I'm not having that much of a problem. The first day when we were getting off the airport and stuff, and I had a big sweat mark because I was wearing a backpack.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, Cameron was just complaining about it.
Yeah, and then, oh shit! After that day, that was the last day, pretty much.
Yeah, it was the last day. We went home, or we went back to the hotel just to relax. We got Cameron, while I was half asleep, ordered food, I guess.
Yeah.
I got an omelet, which is cool. I don't even know where you guys got that from. I had taken Dramamine because I started to feel a little car sick, a little nauseous. From
we took
the Uber ride that we took to the cheesecake place.
We still have to pay, who is it, Cameron?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, man, Cameron's buying. Cameron's like the man with like the Uber Eats and the Uber and like does these things. Like, there's no point for me to do Uber because I have a car. So like I don't have it on my phone. I'm not too lazy to go get my own food. He's
up to date on the apps.
Yeah, I go get my food because, well, I still rent from Redbox. So, like, why would I not go pick my food up for free? It just makes sense to me. But, yeah. So we got the Uber experience from a guy. He wasn't super talkative, but
I didn't want him to be. I didn't want Cameron to talk to him. I'm the kind of guy who's like, everybody shut up. till we get to the place we want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to have a conversation with the taxi driver. Ever. But I guess that's just me.
I guess so.
But yeah, that was pretty much our New York trip. Schweiss and I combined between last time and this time, outside of some museums that obviously I would need days to see, because every museum I've been to in New York has been gigantic. Even that Cloisters thing took a long time to get through.
Yeah, the Cloisters was like most of that day. That one was really cool.
Yeah, we missed Moving Image Museum again because they close on Mondays because fuck me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have probably done that over the Met, at least a part of the Met.
Right.
Either way, we've seen most of everything in New York, I think, between the two trips.
Yeah, I paid for
one more trip and I'll see everything I want to see there.
Yeah, I paid for a $6 chocolate chip cookie at the Met. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was not that good.
It was $1.05 per ounce of salad.
Yeah, I
at
don't
the cafe
think the
there.
salad was going to be that good either, unless it was
didn't eat it, so
drizzled with, unless they just like sprinkled cocaine over the top of it, and that's why everyone was there.
Yeah, probably.
Great museum though. The Met was a lot of fun. And
It's
some great
amazing. The armor stuff was really cool.
Oh yeah,
just seeing like full on plates of armor from
Henry VIII's armor was there,
India, Persia, Japan.
And the guns. Oh man, the guns.
The guns were beautiful. Beautiful guns.
It's probably the only guns in the city right there.
That's not true.
Other than the like machine guns that the fucking the National Guard has everywhere. Jesus.
People protecting the First Lady?
Yeah. Understandably so. But
yeah.
I was just like, damn, it's an assault rifle right there.
Heavy duty.
Yeah, real heavy duty.
That's how they're all over DC like that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I mean, like, so many people as hate any of the presidents in our lifetime. Like, probably got to have some high-powered shit to keep them alive.
But anyway, that was kind of our trip. This morning we almost missed our plane because of delays on the subway. We ate a little too slow, and we were like, we ran to the line, and they were closing the doors when we got there. We almost had a heart attack, but I guess just us jogging made up the distance. But that was fucking scary.
Yeah, and then we got our new catchphrase from this trip.
Yeah, this trip. So I was running up to the thing. Another lady had just gotten to the gate. They were closing the doors, and they just opened it for her and me. And then you guys came behind me. And in that time, she goes, "You guys are late." She's like a really skinny woman. You know, she's a very sun.
She's been outside for a while.
And perhaps smoked about 1 million cigarettes in her lifetime and never left New England. So she's got that accent. She goes, you guys are late. Just like really unapproved. I was like, there it is. There it is, the true New York experience.
Yeah, we gotta get
you guys are late.
Can't stand here.
You guys are late.
No one's coming.
So you
guys are late.
So every time someone's late now, I gotta go, you guys are late. Like, why are you saying it like that?
Yeah, it's like, you gonna let us on? She's like, yeah, of course. Okay, well then, just let us on, man.
Just let us on.
Just come on.
Come on. Obviously, we were running here.
We were sprinting. We knew what we had done. We did not give ourselves enough time, and there were delays, stupid delays on the subway.
There were like 15 minutes worth of delays.
Yeah, and then the TSA is a fucking joke, of course. They were actually pretty fast, but there were just so many people.
Yeah.
But still, waste of time. Terrorists win because of that.
Yeah, the terrorists won.
They took our fucking balls.
That's right.
Our pillared, huge Trade Center balls. And now we have to put our shoes in fucking trays. Also, why the fuck is it different from one TSA place to the other? Since Salt Lake, we had to take our fucking shoes off.
I think because they were in a hurry in the New York one.
You think so?
Yeah, I think.
So it's just a giant waste.
There were so many people in line that they were just like, screw it, let them keep their shoes on.
Or it was like, or they were
put your belt in the bag.
Yeah, they had us just put all of our things that we had separate the first time just in the bag, and they're like, fuck it, let's go. Which is like, okay, so we're willing to skimp on safety when it's busy. So how necessary is this shit? Whatever. Whatever. Just say it. If you're going to have a fucking thing, have it the same everywhere when the thing is everywhere. If I got to take my fucking shoes off in Salt Lake, I should have to take my fucking shoes off in New York. If I have to have my belt and my wallet and my keys in a fucking bin in Salt Lake, don't have me put them in the suitcase in New York. Because I would have put them in the suitcase. I would have done that before. And then everyone's like, oh my God, we're doing this different. And then it clogs it up even more. And I'm like, fuck. We have like 30 seconds, man. And then Cameron's bag doesn't go through because he's got 7,000 wires stacked onto each other, and it probably looks like the ultimate fucking bomb in his bag because he's got like 60 electronic devices on top of each other. You're like, oh, can we run the bag again? I'm like, fuck, we do not have time for this.
The first day, they fucking stopped us because we had a bunch of Nude Clan stickers in a box. They were like,
this
must be a bomb.
It's like, do you guys have like sunscreen or lotion in here? And I'm like, no. Like, there's just like a big bar of something. And I'm like, oh, is it the stickers? And then I pull it out, and she like sifts through the stickers for a few minutes and then is like, oh, your stickers are safe. And I'm
that
like,
woman was very attractive.
And I was like, well, thank you.
Very nice for a TSA agent.
Wasn't sure if my stickers were going to be safe or not. Yeah, second time they didn't care.
All right, so the hottest cosplayers, I'm going to say number 1, young Tifa. Gotta say.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat Tifa.
Yeah, she's pretty cute, yeah.
Followed by
a lot more than we should have.
Yeah, she did a pose and we saw
did a pose on
lot.
stage, and I mean, if you thought there was something left to the imagination, there was not.
There's hardly any
longer.
Yeah. Even outside of that move, I think she was my number 1. Number 2, definitely, there was a blonde, petite Cindy.
Yeah.
There were multiple Cindys, but one of them was fun.
Yeah. There was a preferred Cindy.
There was a preferred Cindy. Let's see, outside of that, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, there was a girl who was one of us gave our cards to. I want to say it was Fundamop or A for Extreme. One of them gave the cards to. It's one of the lady in in 15.
RNA? Or Iris? Which one? Luna Freya? I'm running out of chicks from 13 here, or 15 here.
What's the one that comes from the sky every once in a while?
RNA. That's
RNA. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the RNA was pretty good.
So there we go.
Welcome to the
There's my top
cast.
3 chauvinist cast. I'm not looking at the guys. I don't give a damn. Unless the costume's like really well made.
Yeah, there was some great cosplay there. They had some good ones.
And they had some good artists and some good booths over in the workshop area, which we didn't even talk about. Sorry, not the workshop, the shop.
The shop, yeah. It was Owaka's shop.
Yeah, and my favorite artist, which I didn't buy anything from because I have no walls to put stuff on.
Cash either.
I did buy a little Vivi doll to put on like a bookshelf or something.
Yeah.
But my favorite artist, and you guys should check this person out on Instagram, is Seadraw. I thought she was by far the best person at the con.
How do you spell that? C-S-E-A or?
SEA.DRAW.
Okay, there you go.
Or also goes by Seadraw as in the letter C dash D-R-A.
Now, see, that's just confusing. You're just going to have to pick one.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love her art. She had some non-anime-ish art as well, which she didn't put on her Instagram that I really liked. But just, I don't know. I really like her art. I thought it was fantastic. I thought she was the best one there. But, yeah, there was like plushies and stuff. There was a really cool like Game Boy pillow thing that I wanted, but didn't want to spend the money on.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything this time.
About one thing. I wanted to buy at least one thing while I was there.
I was going to, but
it was either that or a tourist trappy kind of New York thing. So.
Yeah. And I just didn't have cash, and I didn't take it out of the ATM in time because the ATM ran out of money because no one else had cash, apparently.
Yep.
Or enough people didn't and wanted to buy some stuff. So
yeah. But anyway, that was our trip, guys. Following this, I think we'll put in the recordings of the people that we interviewed.
Yeah.
You'll also hear the immense amount of kazoo action that happened at the con. That was pretty entertaining. Maybe bits and pieces of some interviews, but I I think other than that, you got anything else to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that about sums up the trip.
All right.
Thanks for paying for it.
We'll just sit it on there. Thanks for paying for it.
Thanks for paying for it.
You didn't pay for the whole trip.
No, you didn't. You paid for
the KupoCon.
the KupoCon and the hotel and the flight.
Yeah.
But they might do one on the West Coast. We talked to
pretty
him.
sure, because he was talking about they want to do another con in the States, but probably wouldn't be at the same place that they were at now.
Yeah, and both of us were like, West Coast.
Yes.
And then I talked to him in my inebriated state and was like, hey, about 1 billion of our 80 billion downloads come from California alone, right? He's like, he said they were looking at it, so there's options.
Yeah.
I really hope he does California, though. That'd be nice to go somewhere there, because it's way closer for us.
I would love it to be in Los Angeles so that I don't have to even pay anything.
Yeah, it's a big...
I can just go and then go home at the end of the night.
Yeah, and it's a big concentration of our listeners.
Most of our listeners are in California.
Yeah, and we're insufferable for probably a lot of their population. So that says something. It's just that there's a lot of community there.
I don't know
in New
what
York,
you're saying.
I'm saying we're super offensive, but in New York, it's kind of similar that way too. It's a big population that can pull from a lot of large areas nearby. People are willing to travel a little bit for the con. I think Los Angeles will be a great one too.
Same way. Yeah.
Or maybe
they were able
San
to do
Diego.
Vegas for the 14 convention.
Yeah, and Vegas is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
So I don't know. I think probably their best bet. No, they weren't having to follow Distant Worlds or anything, but they could probably follow the 14 Fest.
Vegas would be amazing for us.
Or preview the 14 Fest.
Yeah, Vegas would be real nice.
Yeah.
Because that's like 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking close. L.A. is not 8 hours for me.
L.A. is right where I'm at.
Yeah. So
I literally live in Los Angeles proper.
One of us would have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. One of us would have a very easy time.
Yeah. So I'm looking.
It's also only an hour and a half flight.
That's true, and I would fly because I can get a real cheap Provo Airport flight to L.A.
Yeah, it's like $60 each way.
Yeah, it's dirt cheap.
Monday and Friday, Provo Airport.
That's right. Yeah, I have to stay there for a while. That's the reason why I've never done it. But I will if they go there. I'll do it. Yeah. They also do it to San Diego, so I would love that, and it's a much nicer place.
Oh, San Diego's beautiful.
Yeah, and I have a lot that I haven't done in San Diego. I only did like 3 things when we went there for Legoland. It was like the Aerospace Museum, Legoland, and there was something else I think we did.
Did you go to the beach?
Yeah, we went to the beach.
Yeah.
So that's like nothing from the city. There's just like a million things.
Yeah.
Oh, and the zoo. We went to the San Diego Zoo. That's right. That's a big one. That's a real big one.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer than the one we have here. The one we have here is like a sad affair when you go through.
Well, L.A., the city, looks like a sad affair after going to San Diego for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we were joking about it on the plane. They just kind of like grabbed their city-sized broom, and instead of brushing it, all the dirt under the table or under the rug, they brushed it into Los Angeles instead. Yeah.
Literally, I think they just send all the shittiness that would normally be in San Diego, and they shove it all 2 hours north.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's the way to do it. I mean, why not?
Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy these clips from the con. Thank you guys who came to the con and visited us.
Yeah.
And thank you for your support on patreon.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. For now on, it is being used to just keep the show feed up over these next couple of months. Obviously, we didn't make our date. This should be the last episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, but it's not, at least of the weekly show. We didn't make our date, so we're going to take a few weeks for Schweiss to finish up 4 Heroes of Light, and then we'll be moving on to World of Final Fantasy, and then Explorers, and then World of Final Fantasy. Then we're going to take a 1 month break before we start playing the 14 expansion.
Right. So it's going to be us doing episodes with the Patreon people, us doing episodes. Little things there.
Be all reviews from now on.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like in between. Yeah, it'll be all reviews of like different medias and stuff.
Yeah.
it's not going to be all game reviews because this 4 Heroes is going to take me a little while.
I'm about halfway through that next Final Fantasy 13 book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll have content for you, but Joe's going on a gaming hiatus for a month, so we'll probably review 4 Heroes of Light in a month. And then we'll move on to...
I already beat 4 Heroes.
Exactly. And we'll move on to Explorers, where we'll both try to play as much as we can together, because that's what you got to do. And then we'll do World of Final Fantasy, and then we're going to do the 1 month hiatus, so Joe can work on his film. He's working on it right now.
I'm working on 13th Cross this month. We're doing the final like sound mix and all that other crap.
Yeah.
And then I gotta have a first draft month. And just working where I'm working, where she's like giving me crazy schedule.
Yeah, the gaming's going to be tough. And
I got to put the gaming down for
and 14 is one where we kind of need to play together.
We do. And that one's time consuming, and so I'm just like,
yeah.
I got to put this down. Sorry, I got to put it down for a month.
I've heard great things about the new Shadowbringers, so I'm like excited to get to it, but it's like it'll be good when we get there. Yeah, it's a day. It technically, yeah, it's like it's been out. It's like a fucking hour old. It's fresh out of the oven. It still has that new bakery smell, right?
There you go.
But we'll get to it. It'll still be good when we get there. We hope to see all of you there.
3 books, an audiobook, Final Fantasy Unlimited.
Yeah.
Which you're going to order.
Yes. Right after this.
And 3 games.
Yep. And then we'll break it, and then we'll do the Mana series, like we said, whenever we can, and that's how it'll be.
That's how it'll be.
And again, like if something comes out, if they do Tactics A3, we'll do that before Mana. There's still a hierarchy, except for with the 14 expansion. Just because of the nature of 14, we can't do it yet.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like, well, we might as well just do Explorers while we can, and then do 14 while we can later. Because 14, Explorers is older, and 14 is still kind of a newer thing, so like waiting a little while is not a big deal.
Explorers World Break 14. That's the order that's going in.
Yeah, Explorers World Break 14.
Yeah.
Break Mana.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for all the years you've been with us. Please consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. That's where you can donate to us to keep our lights on for the podcast. We got this beautiful China light. It cost me about 80 cents a month, I believe. And then, of course, the Libsyn fees for keeping us up and running. Really wish I could figure out what the fuck is making that sound, because there's nothing here.
That's a Steam message.
Why? God, every time I'm on Steam, someone has to bother me. Consider doing that. You can go through our Amazon link on our website, ultimafinalfantasy.com. Click through there. We get a small, very, very tiny kickback from that, but it's something, and it helps, and it's wonderful. I got a couple other links on the site that you can use if you want. PayPal, if you want to directly donate to us that way. Or if not, you know what? Best thing you can do, share us with a friend. I love seeing the subscriber count go up on Podcast Addict. When it doesn't, I get really mad. When it goes down, I get livid. So share it with your pals, and just interact with us. I'm at UFF Podcast on Twitter.
I'm at Joseph DeGollier.
You can check out our other shows, Nude Clan Podcast, Song of Schweiss and Johnson, the Game of Thrones podcast. Joe's very well done and second oldest show on our network, the Godzilla podcast.
Second biggest show on the network, too.
Second biggest show on the network, yeah. And then, of course, super sexy swinging fan fiction, the biggest on the network, as per Podcast Addict's app.
Podcast Addicts
somehow
skewed statistics, because we see the download statistics and they do not align.
They don't align at all. But thank you all for all the great years of listening and hanging out with us. But here, now you guys get to listen from some of the other people that have hung out with us for a long time.
Also, listen to us be drunk. Fuck.
I don't want to hear what happens next. But you guys get to, so let's do it.
Hey, for Extreme, you want to explain what's going on?
Yeah, this lady is up on stage doing backwards R's. I think this is Russian propaganda.
Why is she doing backwards R's?
Because they held a picture of Fran in front of her, I think, from 12. And now...
Explain this whole situation.
There's a woman who is trying to keep her balance on stage. She's not doing it now. She wants us to smell her armpit.
It's a spelling bee.
Yeah, but
I think, but it has something to do with Final Fantasy characters.
It's not backwards to them.
Heart. She's also dressed head to toe in Kingdom Hearts gear, so she is clearly at the wrong convention. I don't know.
Hey now.
There weren't any Square Enix characters in the third Kingdom Hearts game. I don't want to hear anything about it.
So what they're doing is he's holding up cards. Alex, the guy who's in charge of this, is holding up cards where the audience can't see, and then these people have to spell out with their bodies the name of the character, and the audience is yelling out who they think it is. It's like, what is that? What's that game show with the letters that the lady puts up, and then they have to figure out what the word is, and they have to guess.
Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel of Fortune. It's a bit Wheel of Fortune, but way more geeky.
Meets charades, meets a spelling bee.
Yeah, so this is insane. We're going to be getting an interview with a singer here soon, so should be fun. All right, Schweiss, how did this day start?
In a line. I don't know. What do you mean?
How did it start? What did we do?
Well, we woke up. We went down and ate some breakfast with Libertas. I believe it was I believe it was a one bite per pain pill. He would take a bite and then he would pop a pill, and then he would take a bite and he would pop a pill.
Ignis was there too, actually.
He was, yeah. Ignis was there as well. It was cool.
Yeah. And now we're about to have the actual interview.
So this is the second time we've hosted a ball, and you will be performing live for us this evening. Yes, I am. The confused look on your face was rather concerning for a second. You were like, oh, does he not know that? Who's coming to the ball? Who's going to have a drink? Who's going to buy me a drink? You're all invited. Great. So, you have a completely different perspective. Everyone else that we have... You guys need to sort yourselves out.
So strange.
Okay, seeing we have someone from a musical venue, because like every voice actor, we always get him to do the fanfare, and most of them can't do it. It's great. Okay. So we'll all do it now. I'm going to solo you now. Ready?
So, right at the beginning of the day, they had the opening ceremonies, and what's the name of the voice actor for Ignis? Anybody?
Busty LaRue.
Busty LaRue? Does anybody remember the name of the voice actor for Ignis? Come on, guys. It's in the fucking...
Ignore the sound of me opening up the schedule. Adam Croasdell and Liam Mulvey.
Which one is who? Which one is... LJM, I'm pretty sure, is Liam.
I think that one was. I think Liam is the fucking king of the glaive. Yeah,
Libertus?
I think so.
Did you say
All right.
king of the glaive?
Which one's Ignis?
Adam Croasdell.
Adam Crosby. Okay.
Wait, you knew that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we just asked.
I didn't hear it.
All right.
Damn it.
So Adam, they gave Adam like a specialty art book thing, and they raised a bunch of money for charity.
For blind, some blind charity thing.
Ironic, interesting. And then they gave that to him right at the beginning of the thing. They made us do a bunch of squats, which they made us do the first year. And we've all been pretty much hanging out with the listeners all day.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah, it's been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Attention, prepare to participate in Distant Woos.
Why am I scared, Alex? Nervous over here.
Okay, let's give this a shot. Have you ever used a kazoo before? Oh. Not so fun. Okay, there you go.
Well, I didn't say I was good at it.
Everybody's good at it.
Except for people that have those like throat things with their...
They're probably even better at it.
If you want a really good video, go
Sounds like a
online,
saxophone.
search,
They turn it away and they go, no, I got it.
Just like Baker Street.
yeah, because you mouth, I can't mouth what you mouth to the crowd. But the second word was off. Because it was that bad. Okay, so we're going to give this a shot. We do this with all the guests. It's always a bit of fun. So I'll throw up the victory, and we'll let Liam go, because, you know, he's done this more times than I have. Okay, here we go. So, you are recreating Liam. That was a good reaction from the crowd. Right? Okay, so I'm going to give it to you one more time, Adam, so you can hear it. So you should breathe down next time. If you think Liam's is better, scream now. If you think Adams is better, scream now. I think it's the appeal. Bullshit. We've known each other for about 3 years now, and you've got a little bit of clubbing stuff.
Hey, it comes and goes.
It's actually going right now, so we'll just wait for it to come back. Thank you so much for being here again. And thank you again for being here. This will be your third.
This one third, yeah.
I remember that in the
And I lost count.
Oh shit.
But thanks for coming back. I think this is 8.
They had to insult this guy.
He's home captive in the movie, and I'm like, he doesn't look bad.
Look, the people keep asking for me. What can I do?
It's true. Yeah, there you go. He is in high demand, actually. And again, I spoke to him earlier. I said, look, do you want to perform Scatman? Do you know that song? You know that one? He does it great drunk.
Tonight at the ball, Liam is going to perform Scatman.
Yeah, now
I think
actually...
that's also on YouTube.
Yeah, it is. Okay, ready? Okay, I'll drop it every time it goes.
We had no idea what we were auditioning for because with big video game projects they often use code names so that word doesn't get away. It was called Project Black at that point. So I was called in to audition for Project Black. I met Keith Farley, the director, who also goes by Faronir on Twitter, you might know him. And we had a couple of auditions and he called me back and said that was great, it went fine. And I didn't even think anything of it. And then a few days later, my agency called up and they said, listen, you've got the part in Project Black. I said, oh, great. And they said, well, yeah, it's more than great because it's actually Final Fantasy 15. At that point, I realised what we were.
See, a year ago, if you'd said it's called Project Black, you would have shocked. Project White was Final Fantasy 13. I'm not under any kind of NDA, I can say what the hell I want. Final Fantasy 13 was White, and the code name for the Final Fantasy 7 remake, I'm not telling you. But I'm pretty sure you can guess. Any guesses? I'm not saying. And then it was Project Onyx for Kingsglaive.
I can't possibly
Yes,
say.
you can. It was in, we've already discussed this many times. John's dropped it on stage a million times. It's Onyx.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, okay, he's in trouble now. Call a lawyer. So Keith actually has been wanting to come to a KupoCon for a while, but just haven't been.
I'm sure he has. We should keep him out, like keep him keen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, keep him keen. Treat him mean, keep him keen. I like the idea. So along comes the role, and you're an experienced actor. You've done a lot of different things. Final Fantasy comes along. What were you thinking?
Well, of course, I mean, everybody knows of it, although I hadn't played it at that point. And the more I sort of researched it, I was just like, oh my god, there's a lot of expectancy.
Yeah.
And so I put myself no pressure whatsoever. It's only been 10 years in the making or something. So yeah, I tried to throw that out of my mind because actually a friend of mine, Gideon Emery, was in the previous iteration.
Yeah, he was in 12.
He was in 12, that's right.
And he voiced Orionjo in 14 up to the Realm Reborn, and then they changed like idiots. Great. I never met him, but great voice actor. He's actually in the 7 remake.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
He's the voice of Biggs or Wedge. Biggs. Biggs.
Yeah.
I love Wikipedia.
Biggs.
It's Biggs. It's Biggs. Yeah.
So he had been in it and I knew a bit about it through him, through his work and everything. We actually went to university together, so we go way back.
Okay.
So it's kind of fun. We're both part of the same country.
Craig is win.
I've always wanted to come to a coup. So put a good word in.
Thank you. I'll add some extra money. So you land this role, probably thinking, as you said, like, oh my god, great role. Probably didn't really know exactly how much it was going to blow up at the time.
No idea whatsoever. No idea whatsoever. We couldn't have known. I mean, I certainly couldn't have known. The other lads were like, they knew it was big. But
Did you know any of the guys before? Did you know Ray?
No, I didn't know any of them. And actually, none of us ever were really in the booth together. I certainly wasn't with any of the lads.
No, it was all separate.
All separate. So it was a long time before we actually met up.
I think Ray just started reaching out to people.
I thought that was pretty much...
Should we get a drink?
Yeah, it was a bit like that, yeah.
I think we got this kind of romance thing going on, but we never actually met.
I know, so bizarre.
It is. But the chemistry is still really good, and that's a testimony to your abilities as a voice actor to create that vibe without even meeting people. I've always admired that. I already told you that you're my favourite voice in 15. It's all out there. That's why Ray won't come back anymore.
Yeah, and it's very fragmented because it's not just that you're not in the same room as the fellow voice actors.
Do you have someone reading the other lines?
Yeah, you have Keith would give you a read, and rarely they would already have something recorded and that they could bring up and you could listen to of the actual lines.
Right.
But it was more fragmented than that even too, because I was busy with other projects. And so I not only wasn't with the people, but I was also all over the world doing other jobs. And then they would say, hey, we need you for more sessions. So I recorded Final Fantasy in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, in London, and Cape Town. And I just thought, how amazing is that? That you get the LA studio patched in, you get Japan patched in.
It's funny, because now you're talking about all this international and sending stuff and all this jazz, which we've discussed before, but these guys won't know, is that you did the motion capture, of course, it was filmed in London.
Starting
but
to
then
Liam
there
now.
was this whole thing with, would it be smart to just fly everyone out, or could it be done digitally? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we did a test shoot. Me, Adrian Boucher, Andrea, who played Crow, and Greg, who played Luce. We came in for a one-day shoot at Imaginarium. And they basically said to us, we'd sort of, from my point of view, I'd been cast in the film, but I didn't know what it was, who I was playing, how long it was going to be, what the script was. I knew nothing about it. And they just said to us, right, you're playing this character. It may not be the same character that you're playing in the actual film, but we just need it for a test day. We're like, okay.
Is the test day where you did the scene of the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the story, because this is really quite interesting.
So the test shoot we did was, this is a spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched Kingsglaive yet. Although given that he's voiced by Sean Bean, you can probably guess the ending.
I was just watching, I'm on season 4, 5 of Game of Thrones, so I hear it.
But yes, so the test shoot was the Regis' final scene. So from the bit where they come down the elevator and Glauca follows them down and the shield wall goes up and all that bit. So we did that whole bit up until Nyx and Luna run out and leave them behind. And I was playing Regis. Adrian was playing Glauca, I was playing Regis, Andrea was Luna, and Greg was Nyx. Only Adrian actually ended up playing that part. But the weird thing is, they used that scene in the final film. So we shot that scene, and then they went, yeah, you know what, we're going to use it, we're not going to reshoot this. So John was a little bit miffed about that.
But what's funny is if you watch John's showreel, he uses that scene, but it's not him. Ouch.
Yeah, he pulled it from the trailer, because they used it in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's like he used it to it, and then I was like, yeah, that's
Fact.
So the reason they did it, they said to us, look, you've been cast. This isn't like an actual screen test. This is a you've been cast. We need to test out the
But
technology.
you didn't know that, though, did you? Because didn't you sign a bunch of documents and they're like, oh, you've already been hired?
Yeah. So it started off. My agent basically said to me, look, there's an animated film interested in you. Okay, cool. And then we didn't hear anything for another couple of weeks.
Seriously, if you heard Project Onyx, what would you think the movie is?
Pokemon?
Yeah! Carry on.
So yeah, didn't know who it was, similar to you. Didn't know company, didn't know project, didn't know character, anything. Just, it was like, I think the casting breakdown was something like, it was just like, character 6, best friend of lead, and that was kind of it. So I knew nothing about the character, I didn't know how big the character was going to be, how many lines it was. I didn't know whether they were going to use, basically it was animation, motion capture. You may get used to the motion capture, you may just use your face, you may use your voice.
They used everything.
Narrator.
Everything.
They used everything. But yeah,
so they knew nothing.
So knew nothing about it. Then got some documentation through, which was the contributors agreement, I think it was, to start with. And that was the first time it said Square Enix, and it said like, we may use you for this project, and it didn't actually say what the project was. And then I got the non-disclosure where it actually said Final Fantasy Kingdom. Still didn't know a character, still hadn't auditioned. So at this point it was just literally, they had a picture of my face, and had gone, yeah, he looks alright, we'll get him in there.
I don't think it does. I think so. They tried to come up with something, and then they thought other catchphrases were going to, like Ray never thought beans was going to pick up.
Yeah, that's
right. But did you have, how quickly had you realised, hold on a minute, I've got an iconic catchphrase?
Yeah, I know. I mean, we have absolutely no idea. And there's a lot of pretty pithy lines across the course of 18 months of recording something. There's just so much that we say. And I could never have imagined that. And it didn't even strike me as I said it, and I couldn't even remember that I had said it, right? And so it was in the game and in the circulation of the general populace. And somebody came up to me and they said, listen, I was in a store the other day in the US, and somebody on one side of the store said, just randomly, they just said, oh, that's it. And someone on the other side of the store went, I've come up with a new recipe. And at that point, I thought, oh my God, this is a catchphrase. This is something. And then I just started hearing it all over, and then online, it just...
You've milked it ever since.
Yeah.
Congratulations, round of applause for the milking. It is, I'm pretty sure, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure there is no equivalent.
Did they try to generate one for the Japanese market? Is that what you said? They try and get...
They had a bunch of different kind of things that they were doing, but I come up with a new recipe, it's not in there. No, not even a version of it.
Wow. It's funny, and no one really knows why. I mean, why is it? Why has it taken hold so deeply?
Yeah, I'm gonna find you. Let's find two Mississippi's for whatever. Let's just go with it. We pick people. Let's do what we feel like. Two people who think they can really do a really good impersonation of the line. And in treats, no pressure.
That's it. I've come up with a new recipe. That's it! I've come up with a new recipe!
That's it! I've come up with a new recipe! You guys are going to be out of a job in no time. That's it! I've come up with a new recipe!
I know you have the honours of selecting which one you thought was the best.
Wow, that's really tough. But I'm going to go with my good friend Ignis over there.
A round of applause and go for the press box down 100 gil, but we have 1,000 gil. I need 1,000 gil. There it is.
All right, guys. So it's KupoCon time. This is probably months ago. I don't know. You got to point it towards whoever's talking. Thank you. So this is kind of our celebration, kind of a culmination. We did not beat the games on time, but I'm still going to kind of do this. Culmination of all that we've been through over 5 years. We've beaten every single Final Fantasy game, hopefully, unless we die in the next couple of months. One of it doesn't do it.
Don't jinx
it.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. We're not quite crazy drunk yet, so it's probably the safest time to do this. But I have a present for Schweiss. I got one just like it. And Schweiss is my present to you for... come here. This is my present to you.
Schweiss stands up.
5 years of Ultima Final Fantasy. I made it myself, kind of.
Oh my god.
So...
Pick it up. Oh my god, this is the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. It is a complete, beautiful tapestry of all the logos, completely designed on a quilted pattern all the way on his blanket, the size of 2 human bodies stuck together. It is a glorious piece of tapestry. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. It is the most wondrous thing in the world. Everyone's point of view?
This is fantastic.
It's amazing.
It's got an American flag in the background because they had like patterns to pick.
incredible. Just
Liberty and UFF.
Ladies, we are seeing the absolute wondrous thing in the world. You'll never get to see anything like it ever again.
Instead of us sharing a blanket, that'd be great.
Yeah. There is a chastity pillow, I will say.
There's a chastity pillow.
To keep this...
We had two beds. We assumed they'd be at least queen size or full size beds. So me and Schweiss were real close last night.
Yeah.
You guys are still at the toe.
Someone had their leg over the chastity pillow.
Somebody had the pedal monster.
And it wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't.
All right, guys. Thank you. Say that again. Credit, Tom.
That's why it happens. It's like, I don't want any more. I love the series. Don't get me wrong.
It's just
Series, but come on. Can we stop with like 4 or 5 more Digimon games there? Enough is enough. Like, they suck.
Dude, there's another
All the
one
games
coming.
suck. Even back to
Our
the fucking
listeners
TV
hate
show.
us. They fucking hate us. They want us to play the games that we hate to play.
I'm still trying to find your 1,000-year door thing. I can't.
All right, fun them up.
Yes, sir.
Say hi to everybody. How was your KupoCon experience? Tell them about it.
Hello, everybody. KupoCon was good. I got to meet Joe and Kaleb. That was the highlight.
Thank you. That was the highlight. I didn't drink that.
Pretty much. That's the only reason why I wanted to come this time. Because I've been to one before and had a blast. We went. Fiance and I went to one in Toronto. Really, the only reason why I wanted to go again was to meet you guys.
Sweet. Well, it was nice meeting you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for buying Critical cider.
Yes. Which I'm also enjoying.
Which is really good.
Yes.
So what is it?
It is Strongbow Artisanal Blend.
It's the artisanal blend.
Yes.
It's the best kind of blend that you can have. Well, thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks for coming and meeting with us and hanging out with us and being... Oh, you weren't squished in the car. You were in the good seat, were you?
Yes, I called shotgun, if you remember.
Oh, my God. All right. Steven?
Hey.
You look great this year, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Did you wear this the first year? Am I crazy?
No, I've worn this at a different KupoCon.
Oh, you wore this at a different
KupoCon.
Did you wear anything the first year?
No, just
didn't.
street clothes.
You just come in, yeah. So we talked about meeting you at the first KupoCon. We weren't expecting meeting anyone at the first one. You approached us on the stairway.
Yeah, it was a great time. I mean, I recognize your voices from a mile away. I got the picture too. There's us from 2 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Look, Schweiss has more hair.
Yeah.
Look at that.
In that crap hole bar we ended up in.
Tell them about the bar.
It was like the one place that we could find that was open, just a couple of blocks away from the hotel, but everything else around there was pretty scary. But it was a pretty good time.
Is it just me, or is the streets cleaned up a little bit since last time?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's a little better than it was before.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was little city boy or little town boy, little suburban boy going into the city for the first time last time, the real city. Why? And last time I went to Newark. New York is kind of nice, or at least the parts we were in. And we went to Newark, and it was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get stabbed out here. There's homeless people everywhere. There's people all out on drugs, just walking and making sounds and weird body gestures and that was wide. That was my eyes were wide. But now that I live in LA, I came over here and I'm like, there's no graffiti.
Not so bad. Yeah.
It's actually nicer over here in Newark than it is in Los Angeles in some parts.
I mean, I live in downtown Toronto, so I'm no stranger to weird people on the street and things like that. But every time I come to the States, it's a weird experience. There's just these little changes. The street signs look different. The street lights look different. It feels so strange.
It's more free. It's every side is more free somehow. I don't know.
You can say it that way, maybe. I don't know.
It's probably the measurements. There's no centimeters and feet. So what the base measurements are.
I'll let the listeners know that the other 6 guys in the room here really confronted me about my expressing temperature in Celsius. They really didn't like that.
It's about 32 degrees in here. What?
Yeah.
It's not that cold. Jesus. All right, well, thank you, Steven. You look great in your purple suit.
Oh, thank you so much.
Although you don't have your top on right now. But no, I know. Close enough. And we'll have you on an episode Soon or in a couple months. I don't know how I'm going to edit this stuff
right,
together.
someday.
Yeah, someday. All right. A for experience.
Hey, what's up?
How was your KupoCon experience?
Pretty good. Wasn't sure what to expect, but I had a lot of fun today.
I feel like
You had a lot of fun today. What'd you do today?
More or less just followed you guys around, saw the interviews by the dude who voices Ignis and the guy who played Libertus, and just kind of took in the sights and sounds of KupoCon. Had a good time.
Good.
Had some pretty good New Jersey pizza.
Yeah. Smelling the beer on your breath.
Smelling your beard because you've got your arm around my shoulder.
Yeah, I do have my arm around you.
We had a very intimate car ride earlier.
Well, such an intimate car ride. All the barriers are gone.
Yep.
So anyway, it was nice seeing you here, man.
Hey, I came
Thanks
here
for
to meet
hanging
you
out
guys
with us.
because I didn't know when you guys were going to be in my area again, so it was really good
Probably
to come out and
never.
see you.
Probably
That's
never
what
again.
I figured. So I'm like, I got to come out and see these guys.
Well, thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you guys for coming.
Have you been to a KupoCon before?
I have not. This is my first time.
Okay, all right. What'd you think?
It was fun. It was a really good time. I said it in my Final Fantasy story. I don't think you guys read it on the show yet, but I haven't beaten a whole lot of them, but I've played a bunch. Mm-hmm. I'm decently familiar with the Final Fantasy series, but there's just such a strong sense of these people are good. It's good to be around these people. And it's just, it's a good time. It's a good time. If anyone has a KupoCon near them, go. It's a great time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, Krenital. How was your KupoCon experience?
It's a wonderful experience. I'm loving it every fucking day.
Every fucking day. So last time you were the guy that hung out with us the most, I would say.
Yes.
Steven was there, but you were there too.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, how did this year compare to last time?
This year was excellent. This is the best fucking year I've ever fucking had in my entire fucking life. I've had the best video fucking record ever. And right now, I don't know why, but I feel amazing.
Is it because you're drunk?
Partially.
Yeah, me too.
Partially. It's fucking fun!
Well, thanks for coming again, man.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking
It's always
worth-
good to see you.
It's always worth to come over.
Our FF11 brother.
Yes.
We made it through a lot of shit together.
I carried you all the way through 11.
You carried us all the way through. I would say, I think you carried Schweiss even more than me, but
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Nuborius Caesar wants to sit there and, throw all the word things for the red mage. It's like, yeah, cure. Oh, wait, you're not powerful enough. Come on, try. And then we gotta get the freaking, what's her name? What the fuck is her name? I fucking feel so bad. Oh,
Another
if you know who
wonderful
this is-
party member.
Oh my god. Fucking Discord right now.
It's okay, you're drunk. It's fine.
Right now. What is
Alright.
his number? I want to know what it is.
This is a good pod right here. Internet searching.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, it's a kind of a statement.
Friends. Where are you?
Are you guys talking about religion behind me right now?
We're talking about having kids.
No social contacts for you.
No, that's fine. It's fine. All right.
Where
Sorry.
are you?
But
No, I'm good.
I gotta drive home at some point.
Where are you? It's just an A.
Yeah, I guess let me know.
No. Me. Scroll.
It's not Emily.
No. Where are you, girl? Fucking awesome chick. Where the fuck are you?
Awesome chick. I saw a lot of awesome chicks today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of those cosplayers, man. Woo!
I'm pretty much
Not Toa.
All right.
I'm done with Toa. What the? It's this ethereal or Ariel or. Yuma Ruffle.
Yo, if I could interrupt, Joe, did you give your ticket to anybody for the cosplay contest?
No, it's still in my pocket.
I didn't give it out to the girl I would have, but she was standing up until number 5, so she wouldn't have made it.
Who was it?
Oh, it was Tifa with the cowboy hat.
Okay.
Ah.
I gave it to that black chick who was dressed up as Iris from 15.
Was she the one who asked one
Yes.
of the questions?
Yes.
She's hot,
She was cute.
by the way. Her question was kind of iffy, but
Yeah.
I appreciated her. She's a good cosplayer. Great craft.
Don't tell Gladio.
Oh, I know who you
God,
are.
how much chatting did you fucking do?
Stupid amounts. Hey, Brax.
Are you looking through all this just to find out a person's name?
Yes.
You might as well just
All right, someone who helped us with FF11. There were a few. Who helped us with FF11?
Where are you, girl?
Ariel,
authorial.
There was an M name that they changed sexes and also left our chat.
Yes.
And I was wondering, like, is that us or is that them? Like, who's... Or were those two items not related to? I hope they weren't related to each other.
No, not you.
I liked them a lot. What the heck was their name?
I know, right? Is it Emu Ruffle?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. All right, thank you. Thank you for all the brothers and sisters that helped us through FF11. Now it's time to go to the party, I think.
Yeah.
Is everybody finished with their drink?
Yeah.
Want one more drink?
As Schweitz starts chugging his cider.
Well, that was the last one you didn't try.
Good stuff, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, we're done.
All right, let's get going.
Man.
Okay, I finally figured out what the chick's name is. It's Emo Ruffle. It's Emo Ruffle. You helped us in FF11. You were the saving grace all the way through.
What was their name in FF11? Do you remember?
It starts with an A. I can't remember what it is.
Athena or something.
Yeah.
Somebody saved our balls in that game.
Yeah. I thought it starts with an L or something. Like.
I think we named it on the episode.
We did, and my name is screwed up. But, like, if you see this episode, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
My voice is a bit broken.
It doesn't matter. Believe us, we're drunk as fuck. I'm drunk as fuck. So, man, we haven't been hanging out with you. Looks like you've been hanging out with a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
How has... First off, you told us before, is this the first time you left Sweden?
Yes, I have never been to America, so...
You've never gone out of your country, right?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Italy too, 11 years ago.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. How was that?
Very Italian, no. No, it's good.
Well, tell us about your trip. And, this is Darth Jomu, by the way.
Yeah,
He's been on the show before, so...
Played 11 with us briefly.
Totally in...
Oh, yeah, understandably so.
We don't blame you at all. Totally in full costume. You want to tell us about your cosplay?
Wow, well, I am Prompto from Final Fantasy 15, your favorite character, Prompto.
That's right.
And I'm a bit glamoured up here with a mask and everything.
Did you make all of this? This is
Sorry, I don't have time, so I just bought it. I bought it.
It looks really good. I mean,
thank you.
Either way.
Got like Rolling Stones stuff here.
Yeah. It's like Rolling Stones with teeth.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, man. We've been dying to meet you at this thing.
It's been a few years, so it's finally good to meet you.
We haven't really talked to you a whole lot since FF11, huh? It's been like off and on.
Except the Patreon invite.
To play what?
The Patreon invite. I got invited with my own episode.
Oh yeah, Patreon. That's right. We talked to you on that one. But like the 11 days, it's like, I don't know. It feels like old war buddies coming together. You know, like we're like, we were pinned down by the Garuda, and we finally were able to
by 100 enemies.
Yeah. Like so many good times. Yeah, we had Krenitol with us too. Like, I don't know. And I've listened to so this is a bit of a spoiler, but not that it's a spoiler now on this episode because this is after the fact.
Maybe.
But I've been listening to the old episodes of Ultima, and we got something from you like on episode 3 or something, or like 4. Like you were there in the very beginning. Yeah. So like listening back to that, I'm just like, I was having such nostalgia. I'm like, really? Jomu's been here since like FF3's review? Like, holy shit. That was so fucking long ago. Like, you know how much hair I've lost in that time? Like, Jesus.
Not me.
Half of it. Yeah, Jomu's going strong. But me, I'm getting punished over here. And it's crazy to think about the fact that we've been interacting with you for 5 years, and now you chose to come to the States and like hang out for a weekend.
A walking distance of 4,000 miles.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think for us it's like 20. I don't know. It's like 2,000 something. Like nowhere near. It was only a 4-hour flight.
So. And we're in the same country, so it's a little different. First off, sorry you had to come to Newark for your...
This is not America,
This is not America.
I like it, though. I like it.
Utah is awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Go to some of the mountain states. But how's your trip, man? Well, tell us about it.
Wow, it's been great. I've been I've been going to the arcades in Pittsburgh and just having a fun time. Been in a car for 6 hours to New Jersey also. Very, very hot. That's right.
Yeah, you're used to up there. It's pretty chill.
Like 50 minus Fahrenheit, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty fucking chill if I say.
That's too cold.
That's a little too much, yeah.
That's too cold.
And I'm a fat guy, so like...
Hey, it's good seeing you. I'm glad you're here, like, dressed up. It's cool that you're here. What do you think of the con?
Oh, it's been fun. First time at a convention, so...
Oh, wow.
Pretty nervous, but I feel it's much better now. It's much better.
Yeah, this time it's a little better organized, but... I don't know. I feel like last time was pretty fun, too.
Yeah, they were both fun.
They're both good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good to see you here.
Yeah, you too.
Man. So, are you going to stay much longer, or when are you going home?
Well, I'm going home tomorrow.
Oh, you're going home
tomorrow?
What time?
Well, I think we have to go very early to... I had to go kind of early because it's a 6-hour drive back to Pittsburgh. And
that's where you're flying from?
Yeah, from Pittsburgh.
Oh, shit, dude. That's too bad. We were looking to do some sightseeing with the group.
I had to go at home and get money from work and buy video games, you know?
Yeah, that's the important thing, right?
That's right. That's what really matters.
So where in Sweden are you from?
Well, Borås. No,
Borås?
Yeah, I wrote it out on one of the things I sent him, and I'm like, I don't know
it's
where
near,
the town is.
Near
like,
Gothenburg.
Yeah, Gothenburg. That's what I sent it to. And I put the underlines on all the O's, so it's really funny.
Gothenburg. We're looking on Google Maps. Kernatel's pulling it up for us.
So, Jamu, are you gonna try to go to one of the European ones when they come up? Like in UK and stuff like that?
I have thought about it, but yeah, I had to. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if anyone from the community goes to those, so maybe. That's the tough thing. It's like,
what is the Final Fantasy community like in Sweden?
Well, we don't have as many conventions. We have like 300 times less people, so only 10 million. So.
All right, well, hey man, thank you for coming and thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go drink soon and have fun.
You're gonna drink?
Maybe I'm not gonna get drunk like you guys, but I'm gonna drink.
Look, we're fine.
Boy, we got drinks in the hotel room if you want some more.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to join us.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go dance.
Let's go check out what this is.
So we're here in the hotel room of... this is gonna sound weird, but... We're in Felicia Nomiko's hotel room with her husband here, and we're going to talk about her Final Fantasy journey and her journey through the podcast, like how she found the podcast, how she came about the show, her trip to KupoCon. This is going to be like a KupoCon / maybe final UFF episode. We haven't decided what the fuck we're going to do with the footage we have, the vocal footage we have from this episode here. But it's either going to be a UFF wrap-up, like see you later until we review the next bullshit non-FF game, or a, hey, this is KupoCon, this is what we did episode. We haven't decided quite yet, but anyway, tell us about, like, your trip here, like your Final Fantasy story a little bit, and like how you came to find Ultima Final Fantasy, because I assume you found Ultima before you found Nude Clan, right?
Thank God for editing.
We're not gonna. This is pure. We're too lazy for that.
Yeah, at this point.
That's what professionals do. They don't edit.
I definitely found UFF before I found Nude Clan. So do you want like my whole Final Fantasy story? Like, as a small child, when I first played on the SNES.
A summary.
A good overview, yeah, like a wiki page. You know?
All right. I didn't play video games, much like Joe. My parents didn't let me have a system until I was 18, and then I bought one and got a Nintendo. So my first Final Fantasy that I played was 7. And then I played 1 because I'm a retard. The original NES version. Oh my God. Like level 83 or some such nonsense. Good stuff, though. Good times. A few years ago, I got into podcasts, and I just decided, hey, Final Fantasy's a thing, and there's a podcast about butt hair at this point, so why don't I go ahead and search it? And you guys came up, and I'm like, sure, I'll try this. And I got hooked. It's like hanging out with friends, listening to them chat, so it reminded me of high school, so it was kind of fun. Anything? I mean,
It's a chill, dry humor concept of a show. We all fit that there's no extra baggage. There's no, we're all little pixies and fun times here. No, it's like straight. It sucks. It's good. It's good.
Crinatol totally sounds like Navi right now, doesn't he? Hey, listen!
I don't even know if he's going to be picked up.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm not sure if I will be.
Yeah, so, I mean, what...
What are you talking about?
I don't know. With this being like potentially a farewell episode, like what is the? I don't know. A lot of people have said that our podcast brought them through like tough times, and like to me, I don't want to undermine that, but I'm like, I love Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones might be my favorite thing, but now that season 8 is over, like I don't give a fuck about Game of Thrones. Like I'm just like. I thought about it the other day at work, and I'm like, I'm just working my job, and I know how that ends, and I don't like it. I don't like how it ends, so I'm like ruined. Like, what's my life now? It's like pre-GOT finale, post-GOT finale, and that's like AD BC in my fucking world now. And it's like, I don't know. What did the show? What did it help you through? Like, did you listen to it while you were at work a lot? Like, did you listen to it at home? Like.
Yep, all those things.
I don't know. For me, when I listen to a podcast, I'm an awful podcast listener. I listen to the show, like I listened to Adam Carolla a lot for like 3 weeks. I was like, dude, every Adam Carolla, I'm like, I love this. I love the show. I love listening to this podcast. And then I just stopped. And then I haven't listened to it for like 3 months straight. And I'm like,
The Man Show got canceled.
Yeah, the Man Show got canceled. I'm like, also... I'm also like, I don't know. I go through these binge periods.
Girls on trampolines. It's fucking ruined.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. Like, what did you? When did you find us? And what did you? Have you listened to every episode of the show? Is really what I'm asking.
Okay, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I have no sob story. I had no depression while I was listening to this. Nothing horrible happened. It's just a podcast I found, and I liked it. And as I do with all the podcasts I find that I like,
Go by faster.
it makes the laundry go by faster, yes, as my husband just said. You'll probably pick him up. His voice is ridiculous. And I went all the way back to the beginning and downloaded the backlog and just worked my way through it.
I mean, did you? Okay, so we have a secret thing that was secret until like a month ago when I blurted it out anyway, and I was like, fuck it. We're going to do a best of UFF podcast where we have everyone listen to like this year to this year, this year to this year, blah, 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 find the best moments. I mean, when you were listening, oh shit, I totally lost the point I was going on.
What's your favorite year?
Yeah, like when did you
Bullet points or what?
when did you start listening is really what I'm asking. Like when did you initially start listening to the podcast? Because I know you just said that you've gone through every episode of the show so far, but I'm interested to see when you started listening to Ultima. And then did you go to Nude Clan when it first was conceived? Because the whole idea behind Nude Clan was like, it was me and Kaleb wanted to do a gaming podcast, but Joe wanted to join in. He was like, no, we have to do it when Ultima is like really popular for 5 seconds on iTunes, because iTunes algorithm is fucking ridiculous. And it's like, oh, you guys are number 85 on the top 200 podcasts, and then 2 days later it's like, you're not in the top 200. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck? We're just all over the place on this iTunes ranking. So like we decided, okay, when we break the top 200, we're going to do a gaming podcast and we're going to do Nude Clan. So like when did you join UFF? When did you find the show, and when did you join the Nude Clan podcast as well?
I know I started listening to UFF before you started Nude Clan, because I remember you talking about it and me going, yes, oh my God, just do it. You know, I think it was supposed to start as a Zelda podcast or something like that. And I remember you guys would talk about it week after week and be like, just fucking do it. I'll totally listen. So I was definitely there right at the beginning of Nude Clan. And I honestly like Nude Clan better than UFF. I think the dynamic's better. I like that you could talk about all the video games. I still love UFF. I don't get sick of it. It's just, Nude Clan is a nice addition to my listening, and you guys have lasted so that other podcasts I've stopped listening to weekly, your guys are still like one of the 6 that I listen to religiously. Like every Monday, I'm downloading everybody, and I'm getting ready to do my week, and that's one of the go-tos that I'm excited to see come up into my list. And there's always just 1 or 2, and that's it, and then it's immediately cleared out. So, yeah, a while.
Hey, I'm sober now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Corinne.
I was waiting for how long.
I know, I'm a terrible interviewee.
That's crazy because I love doing UFF, but honestly, the dynamic we have for Nude Clan, especially the dynamic we had with Joe on the show, it was, I don't know, listening back to some of the old episodes, it was some of the best shit we've ever released. Like, playing those trash games that people totally manipulated our fucking pure website to make us play, like, that's some of the best shit we've ever recorded in our lives.
Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter, Alone in the Dark, Parasite Eve 2. Like, listening to Craig's story.
Oh my God, no!
Listen. Yeah.
Getting Krieger, just hearing his voice go slowly up and up.
Yeah.
Back to the front, and you just hear him winding up, and he starts.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't hear him anymore. It's like I have tinnitus. Like, it's just this ringing in my ears. This very large band and his high voice. Like, yeah, it's become this amazing thing where, like, I don't know, Nude Clan, I love Ultima, and I love trying to play through all the Final Fantasies because they mean so much to me. You know, it's like the series that I was like, man, I really wish I had enough money as a kid to play all of these games, but I have like 7, 8, 10, and 12. And, like, that's all I fucking got. And 8 is bullshit hard, so I can't beat 8. So I beat 7, 10, and 12. And then Joe and I go through, and it's like, as much as I love the Final Fantasy series, I kind of love doing Nude Clan more in a lot of ways. And it's just because we have the extra 1 to 2 people each episode where we can kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and different mindsets, different, you know, we can fuck each other over, you know, like it's really a lot of fun. So I'm glad.
You under the bus, you up on a rail, and we're gonna throw a Sprite in your.
Yeah. It's like, how many games is Craig gonna make me play with the word Digimon involved? I'm like, dude, why the fuck do you like Digimon games? I'm like, dude, even when Digimon was big, Pokemon was better. Like, why would you be on the losing team?
Because for some reason...
No, it isn't. Pokemon's not really that great back in the day. Pokemon Blue is... It's like the most ridiculous grind of all time, so...
Just take your balls and set it on that stone and just let it go.
Yeah. It's oh man, it is so long. It's like, oh, you got a Weedle? Well, he could be really good if you spend 20 hours with him. And I'm like, I don't want to see the Butterfree that comes from this fucking Weedle. I don't want to see it. And it's like, and you pick your favorite, right, in the Pokemon games. You're like, oh, I like Charmeleon because I like Charizard. I like Fire. Cameron goes with the Gyarados. Yeah. But for me, it's always like, I like Charizard because I like the fire. But then the first boss is the fucking water guy, and I'm like, oh, that was a bad choice. And then it's 20 hours of grinding, so I get a Charizard, so I can just fucking dunk on this poor bastard of a, like, second form water type kind of a thing. But yeah, it's become that where, like, I don't know, the whole thing originated with Ultima, with our podcasting, I guess, quote-unquote careers, and Nude Clan has kind of become the new meta, and it's, I don't know, it's been such a great experience playing these bullshit fucking games with these guys, and also playing, like, regular shit, like actually good games, which we occasionally grace ourselves with when Craig isn't involved and he chooses a fucking insta-win KO Digimon bullshit game that takes 40 hours of fucking nothingness. But yeah, like, I don't know, that's awesome. I'm glad you like both shows. I mean, a lot of times we hear from people and they kind of pick, you know, one show over the other.
And the crazy thing to me is that a lot of times they'll pick Ultima, and I'm like, I feel like my best moments are on After Dark. Like I feel like I feel like when I've had 2.5 hours of sleep and I record Nude Clan After Dark, like, and I'm talking about maple syrup coming from the breasts, like I don't know how much better podcasting can be. I'm like this.
Scream with laughter.
And
I was dying.
And I'm like, this is totally true. I'm not fucking around here. I'm like, tastes like maple syrup. It's amazing. You know? And like,
I want to have my toast.
Yeah.
I would pay for that to happen to me.
Yeah, dipping the sausage, squeezing it on some pancakes, just like grab by the hips and just like squeeze that syrup out. Fuck, dude. Oh man, it's crazy.
You should hear that one.
I can't describe how intense it is when it's maple every time, all the time. But like, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's great to hear from you. Although, what's your history with conventions, and how did you decide to go to KupoCon, and what did you think of it today? I mean, this is going to be like we haven't decided, as I said before, whether this is going to be final episode or KupoCon episode, but what did you think of the convention itself, and how does it stack up to other conventions, whether it be fan conventions or like kind of a more official convention like a Comic-Con kind of thing? Because in Utah we had our own Comic-Con for a while, but they got sued, and then they had to do Fan X. It was Fan Experience, because San Diego Comic-Con got a little uppity about us having like Patrick Stewart there and calling it Comic-Con, and you know, ripping off their so-called trademark name. So we came up with our own little thing. What's your experience with these kind of festivals, and how does this one stack up to maybe some of the other ones that you've done?
I'd make sure I was still recording.
I've been going to cons for quite a while. I started going in high school, so we're talking 97, 98. I'm old. Stop giggling about it. I've been to really small conventions, and I've been to Dragon Con and many in between, mostly anime conventions, but also other fandoms. And I mean, it feels like a con. It's got the same feel, it's got the same smells, not bad ones, just the same general, feel.
A slight inability to apply deodorant, is that what you're telling me?
No, there's kind of this Mountain Dew, sugary foods, fabric glue, body paint smell that kind of comes with conventions. This one was cute. I've never been to one that was a single day from beginning to end. It's not just baby in that it's small with a few number of people, but it's very, very short. There's very little actual programming as far as the events, but I found that the scavenger hunt challenges were actually really fun. Probably the most fun I've had at a con for actual official programming for the convention. I really love that aspect of it. Getting your Tri-Pom cards, trying to find the different cosplayers and get them to do different things to get experience, which give you gil, which you can buy things with. That was really cool. That added a lot of fun to it. But I would say if you're a Final Fantasy fan, this is a fun little convention to go to. I think the sincerity and intensity of the staff is really nice. They worked really hard at it. Everything ran very smoothly, which was stunning. I've been to a lot of conventions where nothing runs smoothly. Thank you, Anime Boston, for that 4.5-hour line to registration. It's a good little con. It's really kind of refreshing. It's kind of nice to, as you get older and don't have as much time, to get in, do the con, and get out. So I'd probably do it again if I had the chance and I was in the area. So, and people are going that I actually want to spend time with. So, Oh, and I really do miss Joe on Nude Clan. Every time you guys start, I always in my mind, I do the Joe scream. And at the end, when you guys sign off, I always say, fuck off. Just in honor of him still. So, I do miss him being there.
You can pass out on the toilet, didn't you?
No, I think he went up to get water and then probably died.
Yeah, he's probably dead now.
In the hall with a water bottle.
Honestly, I miss Joe on Nude Clan too. I mean, it's just honestly part of it's because I had to play so many more games now. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just like I gotta sleep at some point in this day. You know, like it's giving me that kick, that pizzazz. You know, that slap to the face. Like, oh, you trying to sleep? Not anymore.
You gotta find maple flavored Bang Energy.
Yeah, maple flavored Monster.
Energy drink, half of it, just squirt some in for later.
Yeah, and then I'll be like fucking rearing and ready to fucking take on the day. Yeah, I kind of feel that way about the KupoCon. I only went to one FanX, and it was like a real ripoff of San Diego's Comic-Con, right? So we had really big actors. We had I got a picture with Cameron, what's the guy from not Patrick Stewart, but the guy from Firefly.
Stop it, Malcolm Earls. God, who was that?
It's the guy with the face, you know. He's like,
oh my God, Nathan Fillion. Oh,
Nathan Fillion, yeah. It was Nathan.
I see it there.
Yeah, it was Nathan Fillion and Patrick Stewart were the big ones at that Comic-Con, and it's funny because Joe's sister was real. Like, I said the F word one time, and she's like, I will send you home if you do that one more time. And I was like, she had the picture passes, so she had like passes to get photos taken, and I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna swear again. Like, I was real good about it, but like that was a real official, like, real setup con with like thousands of people. It was really packed, and this is kind of more of an intimate affair. And because of that, I kind of do like KupoCon in a lot of ways, and it only takes a day, like you said. It's really kind of a smaller event, and it's mostly pretty fun. And this year, honestly, I don't know. It's got some strengths above the last time we went, and it's got some weaknesses from the last time we went. Like last time, it felt like everything was really, really rushed, and everything was like, okay, they had a time frame for A to B and B to C, but really it was like overlapping constantly, and they're like trying to rush it. Yeah, you missed some stuff, but this time I also didn't want to do as much stuff as last time, so I wonder if maybe some of that was lost in transition. But I feel like it was a pretty good little event overall, and I'm interested to see what happens when they do one on the West Coast, which is what I'm pretty sure they're going to do next time.
Well, he said Boston sounded interesting. So.
No, Boston was interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 people in front of us said, "Go Boston!"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, Boston's interested."
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I guess Boston is slightly more west. It'll take us 4 hours instead of 4.5.
Pick Virginia.
I think they're going to do California next, though, and that will totally go to, because that's a day trip to Cali and to experience the con. But
well, for you it is. For the rest of us,
yeah. For the rest of you guys, you're fucked. But for us, it's really nice. And I told him, I was like, we have 60 billion downloads for UFF, and 10% of those, 60 million are. Those are purely California, so you should put it in California next time. Like, it's a really good idea. And he's like, "Oh, we know, we're looking at Cali," and I'm like, "You should do it in Cali because I don't want to fly out next time." But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, awesome. I know. Yeah, it's a nice little town. Whether it's San Diego or Los Angeles is kind of shit, but San Diego is so fucking nice. There's plenty of places to do it, and. Yeah, I would like to go there instead of here, but if they have it here, then we'll come here anyway. But anyway, it's awesome to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening for so long, and we hope you enjoy listening in the future, and we hope we can meet up at these conventions in the future as well. So, thanks for your input, Felicia.
Late. All right, guys. Those are all the clips from KupoCon. Hope you enjoyed them. We certainly enjoyed being there. You guys enjoy, be